He had to be careful of the things that existed in this place. As the saying goes, caution is the parent of safety. If one often walks by the river, how can one's shoes not get wet? It is always better to be safe than sorry. Whoosh! At this moment, Lin Rei held the chaotic dragon spear in his hand. At this moment, Lin Rei was serious. After all, this matter was related to him breaking through to the hierarch realm. He did not dare to be careless. Be careful later. When this matter is over, tell me your answer. Stand here and use all your strength. Let me see how strong your strength is. Lin Rei said indifferently. Oh, don't worry. I will definitely let you see it. In response to Lin Li's words, Jia Yang nodded his head and didn't say anything else. Instead, he turned all of his gazes towards the corpses in front of him and around them. All right. Listening to Jia Yang's words, Lin Rei's face revealed a smile of expectation. He then nodded and said, in that case, let's kill them. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk. After saying that, Lin Rei's figure instantly disappeared from the place. At this moment, it was as if he had turned into a lightning bolt. Wherever he went, there would be a flash of lightning. A woo. A woo. However, what was even more shocking was that the moment Lin Rei disappeared, the 9 azure dragons instantly rushed out with a majestic and grand dragon aura. They instantly rushed into the group of corpses and began to kill the corpses. Tisk. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was rushing forward, felt the 9 azure dragons' actions at this moment. The corner of Lin Rei's mouth rose slightly, revealing a bloodthirsty look. Immediately after, he began his killing spree and his journey to the hierarch realm. Silent Thunder Spear Art, Break, Dragon Subduing Step, 3rd level, fully activated. Astral Finger, Astral Annihilation, Destroy for me. At this moment, Lin Rei used the most crazy attack he had ever used since he entered the cultivation world. At this moment, Lin Rei was like the god of the 9 heavens descending to the world. He was like the god of death from the 9 nether, killing the group of corpses as if there was no one there. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for killing a perfected hierarch realm expert who has almost entered the saint realm. The reward is 1 million redemption points, 30 million experience points. Damn, what's going on? Suddenly, Lin Rei was stunned when he heard the system's notification. His heart was filled with excitement. 1 million redemption points. This number was too important for Lin Rei. One should know that he was still in a state of debt. Now that he had 1 million redemption points, his debt with the system would be much lighter. As for the 30 million experience points, it was nothing to Lin Rei. Compared to the amount of experience points Lin Rei had at this moment, it was like a drop in the ocean. Like a yak entering the sea, the 30 million experience points were like scratching an itch for Lin Rei. There was no practical change at all. However, Lin Rei was surprised that he had killed a perfected hierarch realm expert who had almost entered the saint realm. Young man, don't stop. It's time for you to improve your cultivation. At this moment, the system's voice was heard while Lin Rei was still in a daze. What's going on, system? I didn't kill a half-saint expert. What's going on? At this moment, Lin Rei could not return to his normal state if he did not get to the bottom of it. Seeing Lin Rei being so stubborn, the system was helpless. In the end, it could only compromise and explain to Lin Rei, most of the people here are powerful people who have died in the ancient times. Their cultivation was already this strong when they were alive. Therefore, no matter how strong they are now, the system will determine that you have killed a half-saint expert. That's why you have such experience points. Moreover, if you can continue killing like this, then it will be even better. Also, do you think you can repay the redemption points and reputation points that you owe the system in your normal state? Lin Rei was speechless at the system's words. He did not try to defend himself. After all, what the system said was very correct. Enough. Stop dilly-dallying. Hurry up and attack. Looking at Lin Rei, the system directly roared at him. Then, it disappeared without saying anything. Hee hee. Seeing that the system's voice had disappeared, Lin Rei revealed a bloodthirsty expression. Then, he clenched the primal chaos dragon spear in his hand and returned to his previous state. In an instant, he charged into the crowd of corpses. And at that moment, on the other side, Jia Yang was unwilling to fall behind. Seeing how powerful Lin Li was, he didn't want to fall behind either. Immediately after, the spear in his hand flickered and he instantly rushed in front of a corpse. Dang! A sound similar to the sound of metal colliding rang out. What caused Jia Yang's expression to turn ugly was that at this moment, the spear in his hand pierced out. What caused him to be in disbelief was that even though the spear was nailed into the corpse's head, it was only nailed there. The spearhead did not seem to have the slightest intention of entering the corpse's body. Seeing this, Jia Yang was shocked. His expression turned ugly. How could this be? How could this be? My Dragon Soul Spear is a top-grade deity weapon. In addition to my late-stage God Emperor cultivation, how could I not kill him in one strike? Furthermore, I did not even break through his skin. This, Aowu, while Jia Yang was puzzled and shocked, the corpse that was nailed by Jia Yang's spear became furious. In an instant, it dodged Jia Yang's spear and arrived in front of Jia Yang. It could only see a fist rushing towards it as fast as lightning. Fuck. A vulgar word escaped from his mouth. Immediately, he gave up on the spear in his hand and clasped his hands together to block the incoming fist. With a loud bang, Shi's fists landed on Jia Yang's arms. Suddenly, a terrifying power came from Shi's fists. In the end, it directly entered Jia Yang's arms and then his entire body. So, a figure flew out, forming a perfect parabola in the air. In the end, the figure flew back dozens of meters before stopping with great difficulty. Who? Luckily. At this moment, the person who flew back was none other than Jia Yang, who clasped his hands together to block the corpse's fist. Fortunately, his cultivation was strong. Even though he was sent flying, he still used his perfect body to land on the ground in a sorry state. At the moment when he landed on the ground, Jia Yang did a perfect 360-degree rotation in the air and landed perfectly on the ground. At this moment, the corpse who was standing on the ground saw that Jia Yang was not killed by his fist. Immediately, an endless feeling surged in his heart. Killing intent instantly rushed out of his body. At this moment, the corpse was furious. Perhaps it was because he was a super expert when he was alive. Even though thousands of years had passed, the pride in his heart was still not worn away by time. Aowu, the corpse who was enraged by Jia Yang, used his full strength. His figure flashed and instantly disappeared. Fuck. Why? Seeing his opponent disappear, Jia Yang's heart was filled with endless confusion and doubt. He did not understand why a corpse would have such a strong existence. Looking at Lin Rei, he was completely different from Jia Yang. At this moment, Lin Rei could be said to be entering and exiting 3 times as if he was entering an unstoppable state. Seeing Lin Rei's actions, Jia Yang had an indescribable urge to cry. At this moment, Jia Yang was even more determined to enter Lin Rei's sect, the 9 Heavens Xuanzong sect. At this moment, Jia Yang attributed Lin Rei's current might to his powerful fleshy body. But what he did not know was that being able to kill the corpse was not entirely because of his powerful fleshy body. More importantly, it was because of the primal chaos dragon spear in Lin Rei's hand. This dragon spear had been left behind during the Hongmeng era. It was an existence that belonged to the Hongmeng era. Furthermore, those 9 azure dragons were also products of the Great Desolate era. Thinking about it, to be able to fuse 9 azure dragons into a spear, how shocking would the grade of this spear be? However, the current grade of the spear would change according to the strength of its owner. At this moment, Lin Rei was only a late-stage God Emperor. Thus, the primal chaos dragon spear was only at the half-step sacred weapon grade. But even so, if there was a half-step sacred weapon that clashed with the primal chaos dragon spear, it was needless to say that the first to break would be that half-step sacred weapon and not Lin Rei's primal chaos dragon spear. After all, the true grade of the primal chaos dragon spear was not limited to this. Damn. At this moment, looking at the corpse that had arrived in front of him and he had no way to deal with Jiayang, he had no choice but to grit his teeth and ask Lin Rei for help. Lin Rei, quickly come and save me. This thing is too evil. My spear is completely useless against it. Lin Rei, who was in the midst of an intense battle, suddenly heard Jiayang's cry for help. Immediately, he was speechless. However, when he saw that the corpse had already arrived in front of Jiayang, Lin Rei's heart tightened. Following that, his body flashed and appeared in front of Jiayang in an instant. After all, he was not that far away. Die for me. After arriving in front of Jiayang and looking at the corpse, Lin Rei did not waste any time and immediately attacked. The primal chaos dragon spear pierced towards the corpse. Bam! Oh! In the next moment, something that Jiayang could not accept happened. He saw that Lin Rei had effortlessly killed the corpse that he found difficult to deal with earlier. This was a kind of blow. It was a deep and heavy blow to Jiayang's heart. This made Jiayang feel helpless. After dealing with the problem, Lin Rei turned to look at Jiayang with a helpless expression. He knew Jiayang's strength, but at the same time, Lin Rei also knew that the corpse here was very strange. If he used an ordinary top-grade sacred weapon, he would not be able to hurt them at all. Seeing that there were still so many people present, Lin Li immediately tossed the primal chaos dragon spear to Jiayang and warned, Jiayang, you have to treat my primal chaos dragon spear well. It is extremely hard to tame. I'll temporarily lend it to you. Once you're done using it, it will automatically return to my side. This. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Jiayang reached out his hand to catch the primal chaos dragon spear. In a moment, a terrifying energy came from the primal chaos dragon spear as if it wanted to break free. However, under Lin Rei's words, the feeling of wanting to break free instantly disappeared. Feeling this, Jiayang looked at Lin Rei with an excited expression. Every cultivator treasured words. Lin Rei was willing to lend his weapon to him. At this moment, Jiayang completely trusted Lin Rei from the inside out and treated Lin Rei as his own brother. Who is it? Who is killing my subordinates? Do you not want to live anymore? Suddenly, a young man filled with hostility came from afar. His voice was filled with endless killing intent. Hearing the sudden angry roar, Lin Rei shifted his gaze away from Jiayang and looked towards the source of the voice. Chapter 772. This roar, this aura, this murderous aura. Who is it? How can he emit such a strong murderous aura? Jiayang, who also sensed it, was extremely shocked. It was his first time sensing such a murderous aura. Just the pressure from the roar alone made Jiayang feel an endless sense of danger. Roar, furious roars rang out one after another. The corpses that had been biting and attacking Lin Li and the others all froze in place when they heard that terrifying roar. They no longer attacked Lin Li and the others in a frenzy. They no longer bit and attacked Lin Li and the others. This scene caused Lin Li and the others to be stunned. However, by now, Lin Li had more or less guessed what was going on. In the ancient corpse trove, other than the masters of the first, second and third heaven, Lin Rei couldn't think of anyone else who could make the corpses stop moving in an instant and make them be respectful. Moreover, according to the time he entered, this place shouldn't be far from the first heaven. Therefore, Lin Rei guessed that the roar just now should be from the master of the first heaven, the human corpse. According to the system and the pressure and murderous aura that Lin Rei emitted from the roar, Lin Rei had a rough understanding of the human corpse's overall strength. After understanding everything, he looked to Jiayang and a smile appeared on his face. Immediately after, he explained to Jiayang, "Don't worry, it's fine. The roar from earlier was merely from the weakest of the three masters here." The weakest? Jiayang couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva after listening to Lin Rei's explanation. His face showed a trace of a bitter smile. He knew very well that just now, he could feel that his strength was inferior to the other party. Even if it was the weakest of the three masters in the ancient corpse trove, he wouldn't be able to defeat him. "Don't worry. Now that you have my primal chaos dragon spear, you shouldn't have any problems dealing with this group of corpses. As for the human corpse, leave it to me. I also want to see how different an early hierarch human corpse is from a divine cultivator. I also want to see what kind of difference there is between them. At this moment, Lin Rei gave Jia Yang a sedative to calm him down. Faced with that, Jia Yang revealed an expression of helplessness. Earlier, he had thought that his strength was already extremely powerful. However, now that he had returned to this place, he realized that his strength was actually still very weak. Especially after meeting Lin Rei, this feeling became even more obvious. All right. Then be careful. Jia Yang was powerless against human corpses. Now, he could only say such comforting words. Don't worry, who am I? I'm Lin Rei, your direct superior in the future. How could anything happen to me? Feeling the deep worry in Jia Yang's eyes, Lin Rei chuckled and said heartlessly. After that, he didn't say any more superfluous words and disappeared from where he stood. Illusory spirit blood fire. Suddenly, Lin Rei's figure appeared 100 meters away. His entire body was wrapped in clothes that were transformed from illusory spirit blood fire. His entire person was like a fire god, like a demon god that had descended from hell. Everyone couldn't help but feel a sense of dread rising in their hearts. Star Finger. First finger star extermination, second finger universe extermination, third finger break the dome of heaven. At this moment, before the human corpses arrived, Lin Rei wouldn't waste any time and foolishly waited for them to arrive. At this moment, Lin Rei activated the illusory spirit blood fire and used the first, second, and third moves of Star Finger. Moreover, he also used the profound of the illusory spirit blood fire that could extinguish all yin energy and began to wantonly slaughter the human corpses. PFFF, with a single point of Star Finger, a human corpse fell down with a loud bang. Immediately after, the system transmitted a reward notification and experience notification in his mind. Lin Rei was already numb to it. Perhaps it was because the system notifications were transmitted one after another, but in the end, Lin Rei directly ignored them. In the end, he wholeheartedly immersed himself in the slaughter. At this moment, wherever Lin Rei passed by, there would be ashes of the illusory spirit blood fire or corpses that had yet to be completely incinerated. As the saying goes, kill a person with every step, leave no one behind for 1,000 miles. At this moment, Lin Rei had already achieved this saying. He had even achieved this saying to the extreme. Wherever Lin Rei passed by, there would be corpses that would fall down and die. This scene was seen by Jia Yang from afar. His heart fiercely shook and the saliva in his mouth couldn't be stopped. Even when his mouth was dry, Jia Yang was still salivating. It wasn't that Jia Yang was exaggerating. It was just that Lin Rei's current actions were too crazy. It made him have the urge to cry. Previously, he was still worried because Lin Rei had given him his weapon. But now, seeing this scene, Jia Yang didn't have any worries at all. Because, he knew that Lin Rei's methods were far beyond the scope of his knowledge. Just like the illusory spirit blood fire on the surface of Lin Rei's body. He had never seen this thing before. He had never even heard of it before. Jia Yang knew about the heavenly flame. However, he had never heard of this kind of blood-colored flame. Even the ancient books didn't have any records of it. Moreover, Jia Yang believed that even his master who knew everything in the world might not know what the flame on the surface of Lin Rei's body was. Ah! Bastard, stop. Stop right now. Otherwise, this daddy will make you die a horrible death. Suddenly, when Jia Yang was in a daze and Lin Rei had entered into a frenzy of killing, the voice of the human corpse came closer and closer. A small black dot could be seen on the horizon. Heh! Idiot! Lin Rei, who didn't stop his killing, raised his head and looked at the small black dot on the horizon. His eyes were filled with disdain. Lin Rei's eyes were filled with disdain. Don't be cold. In a while, I will leave this place to you. I will go and take care of the first heavenly layer master's corpse. Turning his head, Lin Rei looked at the dazed Jia Yang and couldn't help but say. Oh. Understood. At this moment, Jia Yang, who was awakened by Lin Rei's voice, revealed a trace of awkwardness on his face. Then, he nodded repeatedly and replied. The small black dot on the horizon was getting bigger and bigger. In less than half a minute, the small black dot slowly grew bigger and finally turned into a person. The person appeared beside Lin Rei. Floating in the air, the human corpse stood above Lin Rei and looked at Lin Rei, who was in a frenzy of killing. He looked at Lin Rei and roared, "Who are you? Why are you killing my subordinates? Don't tell me you don't know who I am." Lin Rei didn't pay any attention to the human corpse's words. He stretched out his hand and shot out a star finger that was infused with illusory spirit blood fire. After killing the corpse in front of him, he stopped his killing. At this moment, it was unknown whether the group of corpses were afraid of Lin Rei or they saw the human corpse approaching. At this moment, the group of corpses no longer bombarded Lin Rei. Instead, they retreated to the side and surrounded the others. A beast-like roar came from the retreating corpses. Looking at them, Lin Rei's face showed a hint of disappointment. "Sigh, I thought you guys could enter the ultimate god realm. Looks like it's impossible now." The slightly disappointed Lin Rei stepped into the air and stood parallel to the human corpse. Lin Rei smiled as he looked at the human corpse in front of him and felt the aura and cultivation level from the human corpse. Tisk, although his cultivation level is only at the early stage of the ultimate god realm, he's still a leader. I wonder if killing him will give me double the experience points or other rewards. At this moment, looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei didn't feel fear at all. Instead, there was a hint of longing on his face. "Speak, human. What are you trying to do? Why are you killing my subordinates so wantonly? Today, if you don't give me a good explanation, I'll kill you," the human corpse said. However, in the depths of the human corpse's eyes, there was a hint of panic and fear. However, the human corpse hid perfectly. Even Lin Rei didn't notice it for many years. "Is that so?" Hearing the human corpse's threat, Lin Rei's face showed a hint of interest. It had been a long time since the human corpse used such a threatening tone to talk to him. However, those people were all dead now. Humph. The human corpse did not say anything, but his hands were ready to fight. Interesting. Very interesting. Looking at the human corpse's actions, Lin Rei's face showed even more interest. However, this was also Lin Rei's intention. Boom! A terrifying spiritual aura soared into the sky. The blood-red illusory spirit blood fire instantly rushed in all directions and encircled an area of 100 meters. Four-sided lock, universe, appear. Suddenly, mysterious and beautiful runes and formation patterns jumped happily on Lin Rei's fingers. What? Formation. You. As the master of the first sky of ancient corpse burial ground, he was naturally very familiar with formations. Of course, he was only familiar with them and didn't know how to use them. Oh, not bad. You even know about formations. You're not bad. You're worthy of being my opponent. However, I hope you won't disappoint me later. With a mysterious and strange smile, he glanced at the human corpse. In a flash, the formation was completed. The area of 100 meters was sealed by Lin Rei's formation. Clap. Clap. After doing all this, Lin Rei clapped his hands. Well, I won't let you escape. So, let's start the battle. Let me experience the strength of the master of the first sky of ancient corpse burial ground. Come on. After saying that, Lin Rei, who didn't have any weapons, clenched his fists. The star finger produced the illusory spirit blood fire that could destroy all the evil forces in the world. You've gone too far. Since you're enjoying it so much, I promise you that I'll make you wish you were dead. The human corpse, who had always been in a high position, had never been provoked like this. At this moment, he couldn't bear it anymore and burst out. Die for me. Whoosh. In an instant, the human corpse roared and his figure disappeared. With a huge murderous aura, he rushed to the front of Lin Rei. At this moment, the human corpse had a 3-foot-long cold sword in his hand. Oh! Ant! At this time, Lin Rei didn't dare to be careless in the slightest in the bombardment of the human corpse. Ordinary people were already so powerful, not to mention the human corpse that could control them. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't dare to be careless. The star finger was instantly used. With the illusory spirit blood fire, he rushed toward the human corpse. The speed of the two was very fast. In an instant, they rushed in front of each other. A sword and a finger collided together. Bang! Suddenly, a sound of metal colliding that shouldn't have appeared suddenly appeared. Lin Rei's finger, with a little golden light and attached with a large amount of illusory spirit blood fire, collided with the long sword of the human corpse. The two were evenly matched. At this moment, the human corpse was shocked. He knew his own strength very well. Now, he could catch his long sword with his finger. This shocked him so much that he even had the impulse to swallow the long sword. Again. Looking at Lin Rei, he didn't care about the human corpse's shock at all. Ignoring him, he used the star finger with his other hand and rushed toward the human corpse. At this moment, the human corpse didn't have time to react. Lin Rei's star finger with the illusory spirit blood fire was already in front of the human corpse. The human corpse, who was in a daze and didn't have time to react, could only use the body that he was proud of to resist. However, there was one thing that the human corpse didn't expect. Lin Rei's body was at the peak of the divine realm. He only needed a miracle to break through to the saint realm. Moreover, the illusory spirit bloodfire was ready to carve them. Therefore, what human corpse didn't expect was that the body he was so proud of was pierced through without any resistance the moment it was touched by Lin Lei's astral finger. Puff! Different from the other corpses, at this moment, when Lin Rei's finger pierced through the human corpse's body, a gush of green blood instantly gushed out. Ah! A painful roar came out of the corpse's mouth, its face contorted in pain. How is this possible? How can you be in my hands? You. At this moment, the human corpse looked at Lin Rei with great disbelief. Since he became a human corpse, he had never been seriously injured by anyone, let alone being beaten to the point of vomiting blood. Moreover, the one who was more seriously injured was the human that he had always looked down on. But today, it was proven that a human did it today, and he did it very thoroughly, directly injuring him. Moreover, what he couldn't accept even more was that the other party didn't use a weapon, but his hands. How could he accept this? How could someone as prideful as him possibly endure such humiliation, such a defeat? At the same time, he remembered what the earth corpse said to him in the second heaven, telling him to be careful. At that time, he was full of disdain. Now, he regretted listening to the earth corpse. If he could go back in time, he would definitely listen to the earth corpse and even stay to help. However, it was a pity that it was already too late. There was no use regretting it. He pulled his hand out of the human corpse's chest and used the illusory spirit blood fire to evaporate the green blood on his hand. Hearing the human corpse's angry roar, Lin Rei looked at him with killing intent and roared, "Shut up. Otherwise, I'll kill you right now and make you disappear from this world completely. Believe me, I can do it, and I can do it very thoroughly. If you don't believe me, you can try." At this moment, the human corpse turned pale with fright after hearing Lin Rei's words. After saying, "You," he stopped abruptly. He didn't dare to say anything else. At this moment, he was afraid. Chapter 773. AOO. AOO. At this moment, the human corpse stopped its hysterical roar of pain. It glared at Lin Rei as if it wanted to peel off his skin and pull out his tendons. At this moment, the moment Lin Rei suppressed the human corpse, the corpses within a radius of 1,000 meters instantly lost their madness and killing intent. At this moment, the corpses appeared to be very well behaved as they stood motionlessly in the surroundings. They stared blankly at the human corpse. Their eyes were no longer filled with murderous intent like before. Instead, they were obedient and fearful. At this moment, the corpses were filled with fear and dread towards Lin Rei. Yes, they were afraid. They saw their master being suppressed by Lin Rei. At this moment, they were afraid. Although they were people who had died once, their corpses still contained their obsessions from when they were alive. Huff. 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 At the side, seeing that the corpses had stopped attacking, Jianghu stopped using the primal chaos dragon spear and squatted on the ground. His face was extremely pale. At this moment, Jianghu's physical strength was exhausted after using the primal chaos dragon spear. The spirit energy in his body had been completely devoured by the primal chaos dragon spear. And just now, Jianghu had completely used his physical strength, pure physical strength. It finally stopped. If it didn't stop, I'm afraid. While thinking, he saw the corpses around him looking at Lin Rei with reverence. Jianghu's heart trembled and he felt a lingering fear. Damn, this brat can get through it so peacefully every time. If that's the case, following him is also a good thing. Eighth baby, who was the same as Jianghu, looked at Lin Rei in the middle of the corpses and revealed a smile. Slap. Suddenly, just as eighth baby was fantasizing, a slap came from behind. A slap came from behind. Because he was thinking about something, eighth baby didn't sense it at all. In the end, the slap landed solidly on his head. Feeling the pain, Bao came back to his senses and turned his head to look at the Pai Shio behind him. He roared, "What are you doing? Are you crazy?" TSK. Regarding the angry roar, Pai Shio was curious and did not care at all. He nodded his head indifferently and reminded, "Don't think about some wretched things in your heart. Since you have followed Lin Rei, then follow him well. Although I have a bit of a deal with Lin Rei, I have to say that he is a trustworthy person. Don't let him down." At this moment, eighth baby was stunned. He didn't know what to say to the Pai Shio's words. However, how could Bao endure Pai Shio's slap on his head? Immediately, he changed his attitude and spoke to Pai Shio with a teasing smile on his face. "Yo, what's going on? Aren't you usually unwilling to talk to Lin Rei? Why did you change your attitude now? TSK, don't think that I don't know what you are thinking. You don't need to care about my matters. However, you have to remember, don't have any bad thoughts about Lin Rei. If I find out, even if you are immune to magic, I will find a way to destroy you. You cannot believe me, but you can try." At this moment, Pai Shio was not as indifferent as before. At this moment, Pai Shio was filled with killing intent. At this moment, Pai Shio was serious. At the same time, eighth baby also experienced Pai Shio's intention and killing intent. At this moment, he was deeply sure that if he dared to do anything to let down Lin Rei, then he would be killed endlessly by Pai Shio. Phew, okay, don't stare at me. I won't do anything bad to Lin Rei. He can give me a lot, such as 9 revolution mixed yuan dan. So, don't worry. Rolling his eyes at Pai Shio, he didn't say anything. His gaze moved away from Pai Shio and looked at Lin Rei. "Ah, are you convinced?" Looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei had a look of contempt. He looked at the human corpse in front of him who was battered and exhausted. There was no trace of his previous arrogance and high spirits. I am not convinced, I am not convinced." A roar came out of the human corpse's mouth. At this moment, he was still not convinced. He didn't believe that he would lose to this human in front of him. He didn't believe it, he also didn't want to believe it, he was not convinced. Ah. Hearing the human corpse's voice, seeing his face full of disdain, looking at his ferocious appearance, Lin Rei showed a trace of a mocking smile. Looking at the human corpse, at this moment, Lin Rei suddenly had an interesting idea. "Heh, kid, since you're so adamant about not going, Then I'd like to see if your Dao heart is as tough as I thought it was. Lin Li spoke in a sinister tone. You. What do you want? Suddenly, a cold wind instantly filled the human corpse's body. He, who couldn't feel the cold, felt it at this moment. Moreover, he was able to endure it. What am I doing? Looking at the human corpse's frightened face, Lin Ray smiled and stretched out his hand. A shimmering spiritual herb appeared in his hand. Then, the illusory spirit blood fire instantly condensed on his palm and began to refine the spiritual herb in his hand. Looking at Lin Ray's action, the human corpse was hesitant and doubtful. He didn't know what Lin Ray was doing, but he knew that it wouldn't be good for him. Moreover, he could vaguely feel a sense of dread. It was impossible for a group of 4, a hierarch cultivator, to possess such a feeling. Here. In a short span of 10 breaths, the originally glowing spiritual medicine had been completely refined into 2 drops of jade green liquid by the time Lin Li opened his mouth. The illusory spirit blood fire was retracted. A faint fragrance entered his nose, giving a refreshing feeling. Why do I feel my wound? After smelling the fragrance, I feel a little itchy. It seems like the prelude to recovery. At this moment, the human corpse was bewildered. Looking at the dark green spiritual liquid, Lin Ray turned his head to look at the human corpse. A trace of coldness flashed in the depths of his eyes. However, on the surface, he was very easygoing like the spring water of an ancient well. But often, this was the case. The human corpse was indeed unsure and afraid. Looking at him, Lin Ray didn't say anything. Then, the hand holding the spiritual liquid quickly patted the wound on the human corpse's chest. At this moment, a warm feeling instantly rushed into his body from his chest. Suddenly, a gentle energy instantly spread throughout his body and began to heal the wound on his chest with a very mysterious and huge energy. At this moment, the human corpse didn't say anything. Then, he hurriedly sat down cross-legged and began to circulate his cultivation method. He began to refine the energy that entered his body and heal his wound. Hurry up and recover. Hurry up and recover. After you recover, I will let you know that only by submitting to me can you have a longer future. Only by submitting to me will I let you go. At this moment, the human corpse didn't care about Lin Ray's thoughts at all. He had no idea at all. It turned out that when Lin Ray saw the human corpse's powerful physical body, the desire to subdue him slowly multiplied in his heart. At the same time, Lin Ray knew that people in high positions like this usually had their own pride. If he couldn't completely suppress them with strength, there was no way to subdue them. Regarding this, the only thing Lin Ray could do now was to use his strength and methods to subdue them completely. Of course, unless the human corpse wasn't afraid of death. He wasn't afraid of dying again. Just like that, time slowly passed by as the human corpse healed his wounds. Just like that, the crowd waited patiently. Lin Ray stood before the human corpse with an even more relaxed expression. With an amused smile on his face, he looked at the human corpse and waited for her to recover. As for Jiayang was also like the human corpse. Due to the fact that he had consumed too much energy earlier, if he didn't recover in time, it would be too late if he encountered any danger later. As for Bao and Pai Xiu, they were sitting where they were. No one knew what they were talking about. In any case, from the smiles on their faces, it was obvious that they were talking about something very interesting. Time slowly passed. In the blink of an eye, several hours had passed. At this moment, the human corpse had completely recovered. His cultivation had returned to its peak state. Furthermore, the aura on his body had become even more powerful. He actually wants to make a breakthrough? At this moment, Lin Ray, who had been imprisoning the human corpse all this time, felt the energy waves coming from the human corpse's body. Immediately, the amused expression on Lin Ray's face became even stronger. All of a sudden, a shocking roar of rage erupted from the corpse. It threw its head back and let out a long howl. Heh. Looking at the corpse, Lin Rei laughed. A strange smile appeared on his face. He then stretched out his hand and used the astral finger again. After that, he didn't say anything. His eyes widened and a sharp gaze shot out from his eyes, aiming at the chest of the corpse that was about to break through to the next cultivation level. Just like before, it was precisely the same spot that the corpse had used his hand to touch. Bang! With a muffled sound, the human corpse, who was originally wantonly howling at the sky, suddenly stopped howling. She looked down with a stunned expression and saw that the same scene as before had appeared on her chest. Just like before, Lin Rei's finger pierced into his chest and pierced through his body. A painful voice came out of the corpse's mouth. At this moment, the corpse felt despair, endless despair, complete despair. At this moment, the corpse didn't expect that the reason why Lin Rei gave him medicine to heal his injuries was because of this moment. The pain could not be increased. How could he endure it? Even if he had a firm Dao heart, he would not be able to endure a second serious injury. This was a direct blow to him. With a thud sound, the corpse fell to the ground. He stared at Linley with a despairing gaze, only to see Linley smiling at him and waving at him. You. At this moment, seeing Lin Rei's expression, the corpse knew that Lin Rei had done it on purpose. At this moment, the corpse was very sullen. He didn't expect this to happen. Heh. Seeing the human corpse looking at him in despair, Linley chuckled and said, "How about it? Are you convinced if I stand here?" "I don't." Hearing Linley's question, the human corpse wanted to refuse, but when he thought of the result just now, he immediately stopped after saying those two words. "Speak." "You're not what?" Lin Rei knew what the corpse wanted to say, but he didn't point it out. He knew that this time, the corpse would definitely submit because no one would be injured and healed again like this. I'm convinced. Senior, sir, big brother, I'm convinced. Please don't torture me anymore, okay? I don't have it easy. Please let me go for the sake of my bitter life. At this moment, the corpse completely surrendered. Tears flowed from his eyes as he looked at Lin Rei with a painful expression and begged for mercy. With a plop, the corpse knelt down in front of Lin Rei and kowtowed to admit his mistake while begging for mercy. Seeing this, Lin Rei knew that he was really wrong. Not for anything else, but because of the trace of respect in the corpse's eyes. Lin Rei looked at him with a trace of respect. "All right, get up. I'm not making things difficult for him." As the saying goes, taking and letting go can make people submit from the bottom of their hearts. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, big brother. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the corpse looked as if he was released from prison. He smiled happily and quickly got up from the ground. She clutched her chest with a pained expression on her face. She stood to the side obediently and did not say anything. Sigh. I thought you could hold on a little longer so that I could play with you for a while. I didn't expect you to admit defeat so quickly. TSK, how boring, Lin Rei said. The corpse, at this moment, the shadow in the corpse's heart had completely occupied his heart. At this moment, the corpse secretly swore in his heart. He couldn't offend Lin Rei anymore. All right, now you can tell me if there are any special existences in this ancient corpse trove. For example, Een Flame or something like that. Looking at the human corpse's submission, Linley once again returned to the question he wanted to know at the beginning. Een Fire? How did you know that there would be Een Fire in the ancient corpse trove? At this moment, the human corpse was greatly alarmed. Other than the master of the third heavenly layer of the ancient corpse trove, there was simply no one else who knew about the existence of the Een Flame in the ancient corpse trove. However, at this moment, he actually heard about it from an outsider's mouth. That's none of your business. You just need to tell me the exact location of the Een Fire and whether there are any exotic beasts guarding the area. Looking at the corpse, Lin Rei's sharp gaze instantly shot out from his eyes and stared at the corpse. Instinctively, the corpse wanted to refuse. He wanted to refuse Linley's question, but when he thought about what Linley had just said, his body trembled, and a look of struggle appeared on his face. However, the struggle only lasted for a moment. In the end, the corpse couldn't resist Lin Ray's cruel means and finally opened his mouth to tell the exact location of the Yin fire. The Yin flame is located in the second level of the ancient corpse vault, where the corpse of heaven and earth is. The corpse of heaven and earth is my second brother. He's a mid-stage ultimate god cultivator with an even stronger physique. The human corpse's eyes regained their previous pride and affection. Chapter 774. Your second brother? Seeing the pride and arrogance in the corpse's eyes, Linley's eyes were filled with disdain and contempt. Lin Ray knew about the Lord of the Second Heaven. According to the system, a mid-ultimate god's cultivation base was very strong, so naturally, his body would be even stronger. Especially after experiencing the human corpse, he believed that the earth corpse's cultivation base and strength would be even stronger. At the same time, Linley wanted to recruit the earth corpse. A mid-ultimate god with a strong physical body was rare in the divine world. It could be said that they were as rare as phoenix feathers and water chestnuts. How is it? Are you scared? If you are, I advise you to, where is your second brother? Are you sure the Yin flame is with your second brother, the earth corpse? Who are his subordinates and what are their cultivation bases? At this moment, Linley didn't even have the chance to say anything to the human corpse. Linley had pretty much figured out the human corpse's temper. The human corpse was like a rich young master who was fed and clothed. However, this rich young master was a little strong, and the human corpse had all the flaws of a rich young master. Lin Ray wouldn't complain about the cost. The human corpse wasn't one of his men before, but now, Hearing Lin Ray ignoring him, the human corpse wanted to get angry but didn't dare to. He pointed to the west and said reluctantly, over there, that's where my second brother is. He's at the second heaven. He turned around and looked at the direction the human corpse was pointing at with a thoughtful expression. At this moment, before Lin Ray could say anything, the human corpse's voice came from behind him. Human, the Yin flame you mentioned is also there. However, the Yin flame is worshipped by my second brother. He still wants to see the Yin flame to improve his cultivation base and combat strength. So, if you want to get the Yin flame, you have to defeat my second brother. Otherwise, it's impossible. Yin flame is the extreme of Yin. You're a spirit cultivator. Although I don't know how your cultivation is, I heard from my big brother that spirit cultivators cultivate Yin and Yang. If you absorb the Yin flame, it's very likely that your Yin and Yang will be disrupted or even devoured by the Yin flame. In the end, the Yin flame will take it for its own. Lin Ray came back to his senses and listened to the human corpse's words. He was a little surprised, but the smile on his face didn't disappear. At the same time, Lin Ray felt a hint of concern from the human corpse's words. This made Lin Ray feel a little gratified. Don't look at me like that. I'm not concerned about you. I'm just objective. I can't do anything if you don't listen. Sensing Linley's burning gaze, the human corpse was startled for a moment before turning away to look at the cultivator who had avoided Linley's gaze. Looking at the human corpse's cute side, Lin Ray chuckled. Then, he took out a 9 revolutions mixed energy elixir from his ring and threw it to the human corpse. He said, eat it. Even a sage would fight to get this. What? Hearing Lin Ray's words, the human corpse turned around and saw an elixir the size of a fingernail in front of him. Subconsciously, the human corpse caught it. Immediately, a fragrant smell was emitted from the elixir. Hiss, this elixir. Looking at the medicinal pill and smelling the fragrance emitted from the medicinal pill could actually trigger the opportunity for a breakthrough that had disappeared earlier. Furthermore, at this moment, when the human corpse smelled the medicinal pill fragrance, he could clearly feel the itch coming from the wound on his chest. Feeling the magical effect of the elixir, the human corpse could no longer stay calm. He had seen and eaten elixirs before. However, compared to the elixirs he had eaten before, the elixirs he had eaten before could only be described as trash. Looking at the human corpse's excited face, Lin Rei said unhurriedly, "Eat it. This elixir is called the 9 Revolutions Mixed Energy Elixir. It's a supreme grade venerable elixir. You should know its effects." Lin Rei knew that the human corpse had broken the opportunity to break through. Now, he used a 9 Revolutions Mixed Energy Elixir to recover the opportunity. It was a piece of cake for Lin Rei. Looking at the confidence on Lin Rei's face, the human corpse was stunned. Then, he nodded repeatedly and said, "I know," but, while he was sensing, the human corpse recalled that he had just recovered from his injury with great difficulty. However, just as he recovered, he was interrupted by Lin Rei and was seriously injured again. At this moment, the human corpse was traumatized. He was afraid that Lin Rei would do the same thing again. If that was really the case, the human corpse would rather not recover because the feeling of being repeatedly tortured was too uncomfortable. This was no longer just physical torture. It could be considered as spiritual torture. This was something he couldn't bear. Hearing the human corpse's words, Lin Rei was stunned. Thinking of what he had done before, he immediately understood and promised, "Don't worry, I won't torture your body and soul anymore. You can focus on breaking through and healing your wounds. However, I'll only give you half a day. If you don't break through to middle stage ultimate god in half a day, then I'll..." Humph. Lin Rei raised his hand and gestured in front of his eyes. Seeing Lin Rei's gesture, the human corpse who was about to say something stopped abruptly. Then, he nodded repeatedly and said, "Don't worry, I'm the master of this first heaven. Half a day is enough for me to break through my cultivation." With that, he did not dare to continue chatting with Lin Rei. Although he spoke of his lofty aspirations, the human corpse knew that breaking through and healing his injuries in half a day was a huge challenge for him. As the saying goes, there was a wolf in front and a tiger behind. If you ride a tiger, you can't get off. The human corpse could only risk it. After all, he did not want to fall into the tiger's hands. He found a quiet and clean place, sat down cross-legged and threw the 9 Revolutions Mixed Energy pill into his mouth. Then, he closed his eyes and began to cultivate. Seeing that the human corpse had entered the state of breakthrough, Lin Rei did not disturb him. The human corpse's breakthrough would also strengthen his team. Therefore, Lin Rei walked towards the place where Ba Bao Bao and Pai Xiu were. Oh, it seems that Lin Rei will be able to subdue a few capable subordinates this time. At this time, Ba Bao Bao and Pai Xiu noticed the arrival of Lin Rei. Among them, Pai Xiu said in a low voice with a smile, "Sai, that's right. Lin Rei can be considered as a legend. He has beaten them to such a state, yet they still submit to him. If it were me, I would definitely..." Ba Bao Bao opened his mouth. However, halfway through his words, Pai Xiu's murderous gaze landed on him. Immediately, Ba Bao Bao shut his mouth obediently and did not speak anymore. "Humph, you only know how to bully me." Looking at Pai Xiu, Ba Bao Bao was speechless. As the saying goes, don't be afraid of a thief stealing, but be afraid of a thief remembering. Ba Bao Bao had no way to deal with Pai Xiu. "He's here." At this time, Pai Xiu did not pay attention to Ba Bao Bao, who did not have any plastic surgery. Instead, he turned his head to look at Lin Rei and said, "N." At this moment, Lin Rei came to Pai Xiu and Ba Bao Bao's side and looked at them. Lin Rei nodded in response. "How was it, just now, Tisk? Are you looking down on me? Are you looking down on me? I'm asking you if you are." Suddenly, Pai Xiu said loudly, "Air." Lin Rei felt helpless in Pai Xiu's heart. It seemed that he did not say anything. However, Pai Xiu knew that Lin Rei did not finish his words. Therefore, he did not wait for him to finish speaking and interrupted him. "Okay, we are fine. This group of people who are neither human nor ghost can hurt us." Ba Bao Bao found the right time and quickly said, "That's good. Seeing that the two of them were fine and there were no injuries on their bodies, suddenly, his heart calmed down. I thought that you were injured and wanted to give each of you a 9 revolutions mixed yuan pill to heal your injuries. Since you are not injured, then keep it. After all, I don't have many 9 revolutions mixed yuan pills left. What? The moment Lin Rei finished speaking, 2 miserable screams came from Pai Xiao and Ba Bao Bao's mouths. Their feet were filled with darkness, regret, and unwillingness. At this moment, Pai Xiao and Ba Bao Bao were very depressed. It was as if they had eaten 10,000 dead flies. They did not expect that Lin Rei wanted to say this. If Pai Xiao and Ba Bao Bao knew, they might just lie on the ground and pretend to be sick and ask Lin Rei to give them the 9 revolutions mixed yuan pill. However, it was a pity that they missed such a good opportunity. Heh. Lin Rei's face showed a thought-provoking smile. Immediately, he looked at Pai Xiao and Ba Bao Bao and said, "Okay, quickly rest. In a while, we will go to the second heaven of the ancient corpse trove and see how powerful the owner of the second heaven is. We will find the Yin flame and then merge it with the illusory spirit blood fire. Let's see if there will be any different sparks between them." Okay. At this moment, the two of them returned to their usual demeanor. After answering, they went to the side and began to cultivate on the ground. Seeing that everyone had entered into cultivation, Lin Rei's mind moved and instantly entered the system. System, quickly come out. I still want to ask about the Yin flame merging with the illusory spirit blood fire. Standing in the space, Lin Rei looked up at the sky and said loudly. Alas! A sigh rang out immediately after Lin Li finished speaking. The voice was filled with helplessness. Hearing the sigh, Lin Rei scratched his head awkwardly. Then, he said with a smile, "Just this once. Moreover, I didn't ask you to do it. I just want to know if merging with the Yin flame will have a good or bad effect on the nature of the illusory spirit blood fire." It won't. At this moment, the system's answer was very decisive. Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei was relieved. After all, he had never merged with the heavenly strange flame before, so he was a little worried. Okay, merging with the heavenly strange flame is very easy for you. Moreover, you have the protection of the illusory spirit blood fire. What are you afraid of? Unless the heavenly strange flame you want to absorb is stronger than your illusory spirit blood fire, rest assured, everything will be fine. At this time, the system spoke again, its tone full of pride. Air. Hearing this, Lin Rei subconsciously rolled his eyes. Then, he nodded to show that he understood. I'll leave first. If there's anything in the future, let me know in advance. After saying that, he disappeared from the system without waiting for the system to speak. This brat. Seeing Lin Rei disappear, the system felt helpless. It couldn't be helped. It was already used to Lin Rei being like this. In the ancient corpse depository, after Lin Rei returned to reality, he regained his senses and raised his head to look in the direction of the human corpse. His eyes revealed a trace of surprise. This brat, I didn't expect his foundation to be so strong. It hasn't been long and he has already obtained the 9 revolutions mixed yuan pill to this extent. Looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of surprise. At this moment, the human corpse was emitting rings of powerful energy ripples. These energy ripples were all rushing out from the human corpse. Lin Rei was very familiar with this scene because he had experienced it countless times before. These energy ripples were none other than the signs of a breakthrough. I originally thought that you would need half a day's time. It seems that I have underestimated you. After saying that, Lin Rei turned around and walked towards Jianghu. But as luck would have it, right at this moment, as Lin Li was walking towards Jianghu, Jianghu had finished his training as well. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was walking towards Jianghu, sensed that Jianghu had finished his cultivation. With a smile on his face, he spoke with a slightly louder tone, "You're awake. Are you feeling better?" N. Jianghu, who had just exited from his training, heard Lin Li's greeting. For a moment, he didn't react in time and let out a groan. Hearing Jia Yang's voice, Linley's body came to an abrupt halt. His eyes carried a strange gaze as he looked at Jia Yang. At this moment, sensing that Lin Rei had stopped his footsteps, Jia Yang immediately raised his head and saw Lin Rei's strange gaze. He was stunned for a moment and rolled his eyes at Lin Rei, letting him experience it himself. Although Jia Yang had just entered the world, he had heard of Lin Rei's strange gaze in the divine realm. After all, they were both men. Where should we go next? In order to break the strange atmosphere, Jia Yang quickly spoke to divert Lin Rei's attention. This. Sure enough, after hearing Jia Yang's words, Lin Rei spoke out his thoughts. Later, after you have rested, we will go to the second layer of heaven in the west. There is something I want there. I need to get it as soon as possible and then increase my strength. In this place, there are unknown dangers. We must increase our strength as soon as possible. F***CK. After listening to Lin Rei's plan, Jia Yang fainted on the ground. What is weak? Being able to pierce through an early hierarch expert with a finger, this is called weak. At this moment, Jia Yang couldn't help but curse. Lin Rei, boom. A muffled sound was heard. Just when Lin Rei was speechless, a strange sound came from behind. Immediately, Lin Rei was startled and quickly turned around to look. He saw the human corpse sitting on the ground with a flushed face. His brows were tightly knitted and his face revealed a painful expression as if he was suffering from some kind of torture. Chapter 775. It's about to break through. Looking at the corpse, a smile appeared on Linley's face. And then, with a flash, he disappeared from Jia Yang's sight. At this moment, Lin Rei was even more worried and nervous than the human corpse. Corpses were the most inconceivable existence in this world. They had already escaped from the cycle of reincarnation and were no longer in the 5 elements. When they broke through, they would usually attract a terrifying lightning tribulation. Some lightning tribulations could even destroy the corpses that were in the process of breaking through. As for the human corpse, Lin Rei was determined to take it under his command. Therefore, Lin Rei would not allow anything to happen to it. However, Linley did have a bit of selfish motives. For no other reason than the fact that he wanted to test out how terrifying the tribulation lightning would be when a corpse underwent its tribulation. In this way, Lin Rei could also use the lightning tribulation to cleanse his body. Perhaps, his body could reach the great circle of the God realm and become a half-step saint. Of course, it would be even better if it didn't work. After all, he could create a hierarch as his subordinate. At this moment, Jia Yang looked at Lin Rei's action from afar. His eyes immediately widened and his face was filled with disbelief. At this moment, when he saw Lin Rei's action, Jia Yang thought of Lin Rei's idea. Although he had not experienced the world, he had seen some legends about corpses in ancient books. Now, if his idea was confirmed, then, thinking of that, Jia Yang did not dare to continue thinking about it. Even his master did not dare to say that he would be able to withstand that sort of heavenly tribulation. Furthermore, he had also thought of using that method to overcome his own shackles. However, right after that thought was born, he was immediately killed by his master. Now, Lin Rei had done it. Although Jia Yang was a little scared, he was faintly excited in his heart. After all, this scene was very rare to see. Rumble, 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 rumble. Suddenly, the ancient corpse burial ground, which was originally filled with dense qi, was now covered with black clouds within 10,000 miles, giving people a very oppressive feeling. More and more black clouds appeared, and they slowly arrived above the human corpse. Then, with the corpse as the center point, they quickly spread out in all directions. The speed was so fast that Lin Rei gasped in surprise. TSK, to be able to form thunderclouds so quickly, it seems like the lightning tribulation this human corpse is going to undergo is not simple. It is likely to be even more terrifying than the purple heaven divine lightning and the blood prison divine lightning. If that is the case, then perhaps my physical body will have a breakthrough this time. At this thought, Lin Rei couldn't help but become excited. At this moment, he was purely helping the corpse transcend the tribulation. He had shifted the main focus to himself. Brat, hurry up and prepare some elixirs to restore your physical body. Otherwise, you will suffer later. The system's sudden reminder surprised Lin Rei. Previously, the system had said that it would definitely not help, let alone take the initiative to speak. But now, quick! Why are you still in a daze? Seeing that Lin Rei was stunned on the spot after hearing his words, his eyes were glazed over and his body did not move at all, for a moment. The system's urgent voice sounded again. The lightning tribulation of the corpse is not something you can underestimate. The lightning tribulation is already strong enough. Now that you have intervened, the power of the lightning tribulation will increase by several levels. If you don't use elixirs to supplement the lightning tribulation of this level, then I can't guarantee that you will still be able to see the peak of the Tao. Lin Rei, at this moment, Lin Rei still hadn't recovered from his shock. Perhaps it was because the system's words were too sudden and the meaning behind them had shocked Lin Rei. Time passed by slowly. In the blink of an eye, half a minute had passed. Lin Rei was still standing on the spot. Jianghu, who was far away, looked at Lin Rei's current state and was very puzzled. However, he didn't go forward because he had seen how powerful the lightning tribulation of the corpse was in an ancient book. Ah! An angry roar suddenly rang out. Linley, who had been in a daze, suddenly came back to his senses when he heard the angry roar. His face no longer had the stunned look from before, nor did it have the sluggishness from before. At this moment, Lin Rei's face was flushed. His face was filled with excitement and excitement. He was even more excited because of the system's words. Sure enough, it's just as I thought. With the existence of the lightning tribulation, if I can't break through the physical realm, then I will really be crippled. At this moment, other than excitement, Lin Rei didn't have anything else left. However, Lin Rei couldn't help but be cautious about the system's words. After all, he had never seen the lightning tribulation of the corpse. If it was really as the system said, then, thinking of this, Lin Rei returned to normal and returned to the same situation. Then, with a thought, he entered the space of the storage ring. Whoosh! At this moment, the storage ring was filled with brilliant spiritual light. The light of treasures was magnificent, and the spiritual energy was soaring to the sky. There were spiritual energy fluctuations everywhere. Looking at everything in the ring, Lin Rei's lips curled into a smile. His face was full of smiles. Looking at these things, Lin Rei's heart felt a lot better. These things in front of him were his life, his treasures, his wealth. Thinking back to the things he had obtained in the past, they were all used to fill the scripture pavilion, the weapon vault, the elixir room, the elixir room, the elixir room, the weapon refining room, and many other places in the sect. Now that Lin Rei had left the Xuanzong sect and handed over the position of the sect leader, these things were not the first thing that came to his mind. Looking at these things, Lin Rei didn't pay much attention to them. He knew that he didn't have much time. The lightning tribulation outside was likely to descend at any time. After finding a direction, Linley's body flashed as he charged in that direction. It had to be said that at this moment, the space in the storage ring was quite big. At this moment, Lin Rei had been flying at his fastest speed for half a minute, but he still hadn't reached his destination. Alas, if I had known this, I wouldn't have made such a big storage ring. While flying, he kept complaining about his stupidity. Another half a minute passed. At this moment, Lin Rei finally arrived at his destination. He withdrew his cultivation and landed perfectly on the ground. He raised his head and looked ahead. This place was full of wooden shelves. On these wooden shelves, there were elixir bottles of different colors, such as purple, red, and blue. Looking at them, Lin Rei's lips curled into a smile. Then, in a flash, he came to the wooden shelves where the purple elixir bottles were placed. Alas! These are all my treasures. There are so many supreme-level elixirs. It should be enough for me to pass through the lightning tribulation. Thinking of this, Lin Rei didn't think too much. Immediately, he took out a storage ring and made a gesture. Suddenly, a huge suction force appeared. Suddenly, half of the shelves where the purple elixir bottles were placed disappeared. It's time to go out. Seeing that his purpose of coming here had been accomplished, Lin Rei didn't stay any longer. In an instant, he activated his cultivation and disappeared into the ring. Rumble, the moment he walked out of the ring, a muffled sound of rolling thunder came from the sky, which surprised Lin Rei. Subconsciously, he looked up and saw that in the dark lightning tribulation above his head, there was a little blood-red cloud. This red dot was very conspicuous. However, while it was conspicuous, it was also very strange. At this moment, even Lin Rei couldn't help but feel a chill on his back when he saw the red cloud. A strange feeling rose in his heart. Damn, what kind of lightning tribulation is this? How can it make me feel like this? At this moment, Lin Rei had to admit that even before the lightning tribulation fell, he already felt his hair stand on end and a chill on his back. Phew. In front of him, the human corpse, who was sitting cross-legged and cultivating, slowly woke up at this moment. He opened his eyes and his face was full of shock. When he was meditating before, the sky was not covered with dark clouds and thunder was rolling. Now, when he woke up again, the sky had changed drastically. This made the human corpse a little unbelievable. At this moment, Lin Rei, who sensed that the human corpse woke up, lowered his head and looked at him with a serious expression. You're awake. Hearing this voice that made him tremble, the human corpse stood up in shock. He didn't stay any longer. In a flash, he moved 10 meters away and looked at Lin Rei with vigilance. Looking at the human corpse's reaction, Lin Rei's parents couldn't help sweating. He didn't expect the human corpse to be so wary of him. However, on second thought, it wasn't entirely the human corpse's fault. After all, what he did before was too inhumane. Looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei gave him a speechless expression and then said in a serious tone, "All right, I won't do anything to you. Moreover, do you think I'm in the mood to joke with you now?" Hearing Lin Rei's words, the human corpse was puzzled. He raised his head and looked at the direction that Lin Rei was pointing at. He only saw the rolling thunder in the sky and a terrifying aura suddenly appeared and pressed down on him. Suddenly, the human corpse saw this scene and felt the sudden enormous aura. He immediately knew what was going on. Immediately, the human corpse turned his cultivation to the middle stage ultimate god realm. I've broken through to the middle stage ultimate god realm. This. At this moment, the human corpse was still in shock. Lin Rei, who was opposite him, was confused. Now, the lightning tribulation above your head is more important. Why are you still concerned about your own cultivation? Of course, Lin Rei wouldn't say that out loud. Looking at the human corpse's surprised face, Lin Rei said in a serious tone, "Don't be surprised about your breakthrough. You should be thinking about how you're going to survive the lightning tribulation above your head. Even I can feel the terror of this lightning tribulation. Do you think you're able to withstand the bombardment of the lightning tribulation as an existence that has transcended reincarnation? The lightning tribulation is the existence of the purest yang. It's specially made for existences like you. How long do you think you can survive under this lightning tribulation?" Lin Rei's words were very clear. At this moment, the human corpse who heard Lin Rei's words understood the seriousness of the matter. He knew that the lightning tribulation was very powerful. The human corpse also knew that the lightning tribulation was designed for the corpse clan. At this moment, the human corpse was no longer calm. Lin Rei was speechless at the human corpse's slow reaction. He didn't expect the human corpse to be so slow. He even began to wonder if the human corpse's current achievements were due to the help of his brothers. Seeing the human corpse's panic, Lin Rei revealed a faint smile and said, "I can help you. I can help you pass the lightning tribulation." You're serious." The human corpse naturally didn't think that Lin Rei would be so kind. He immediately said, tell me, what do you need me to do? Heh. Seeing the human corpse being so understanding, Lin Rei smiled and nodded. He then said what he wanted. Submit. I don't want anything else. I just want you to submit to me. I can help you advance to an unimaginable realm. I can give you resources. I can give you everything. I can even take you away from here. What? You can take me away from here? The human corpse was moved. The human corpse wasn't interested in the previous conditions. However, when Lin Rei said that he could take him away, he was moved and hesitant. However, after thinking about it, he shook his head and smiled bitterly. He muttered to himself, how is this possible? How can you take me away? Even my brother doesn't have this ability. How can you? The seal here is so strong. How can you? Seeing the human corpse's gloomy expression and heavy thoughts, Lin Rei grasped the key point and said, I can. You saw the formation just now. I'm a peak late-stage Honorable Realm Array Master. I'm also a late-stage Honorable Realm Talisman Dao Master. Do you think that I can't break the seal here with these 2 points? In addition, if I, Linley, take a fancy to something, no one has the right to take it from me. Not even heaven. At this moment, Lin Rei's arrogant words were extremely domineering. His overbearing aura leaked out, giving people the feeling that he was the ruler of the world. Looking at Lin Rei's heroic words, the human corpse was stunned for a moment. Rumble. Just as Linley was speaking with the human corpse, the thunderclouds in the sky had finished forming, and the first bolt of tribulation lightning began to descend. Damn, no way. Lin Rei, who reacted quickly, felt the same. He looked up and saw a lightning tribulation as thick as a thigh rushing down. Lin Rei was shocked. In the next moment, he said to the human corpse beside him, hurry up and leave. At the same time, think about what I said just now. I'll help you get rid of this lightning tribulation. Then, without waiting for the human corpse to speak, Lin Rei flashed and disappeared on the spot. Looking at the place where Lin Rei disappeared, the human corpse wanted to say something. However, once the word came out of his mouth, he couldn't say anything else. It was because Lin Rei was gone. Even if he wanted to say something, Lin Rei wouldn't be able to hear him. Sigh. With a sigh, the human corpse followed Linley's instructions and retreated to the side. He subconsciously raised his head to look at the sky. He saw that Linley, who had disappeared, was now in the air. He was not holding any weapons in his hands. He stood proudly in the air, looking very domineering. I hope you're okay. Looking at Lin Rei's back, the human corpse prayed in his heart, if you can survive this tribulation, I, Yun Peng, will definitely agree to your conditions. Chapter 776. Rumble. An arm-thick bolt of lightning came crashing down towards Linley. Under the human corpse's worried gaze, the lightning finally arrived in front of Lin Rei in an instant. A terrifying force exploded at this moment. Ha! You're just an ant. How dare you compete with the sun and moon? Break! Raising his head and looking at the lightning, Lin Rei did not hesitate. His eyes were filled with determination and unyielding. He raised his arm. At this moment, Lin Rei did not use any of his cultivation. Using only his physical body, he punched towards the lightning with his palm. Bang! In the blink of an eye, the lightning collided with Lin Rei's fist. At this moment, a terrifying pain spread from his fist to his arm. In the end, a tearing pain spread throughout his body. The pain shocked Lin Rei. His face, which was originally full of vigor and vitality, turned pale in an instant. F***ck, why is it so painful? This damn lightning tribulation is 4 or 5 times stronger than the one I've experienced before. At this moment, Lin Rei was shocked. He could not help but feel regret in his heart. However, at this moment, regret rose in Lin Rei's heart along with surprise and excitement. Being able to feel all kinds of pain from this lightning tribulation proved that this lightning tribulation was of great help to his physical body. In this way, breaking through to the saint realm, was it still a dream? Was it still far from his dream? The answer was, of course, no. At this moment, along with the pain, Lin Rei's heart was filled with excitement. Break for me. Staring at the bolt of lightning which was about to collide with him, Lin Li exerted a tremendous amount of force. In an instant, the bolt of lightning which was as thick as his arm was instantly shattered. Devouring heaven spell, devour. Looking at the lightning that was shattered by him, Lin Rei did not waste it. In Lin Rei's dictionary, wasting was a shameful thing that he had always understood. The moment the devouring heaven spell appeared, a vortex of black holes appeared around the dissipating lightning. A terrifying suction force appeared instantly. Void, the lightning came from the world. It contained the ways of the world and possessed tremendous energy. Now, under the effects of Lin Rei's art of devouring, the energy was completely absorbed into his body. Ding dong, energy is increasing, ding dong, physical body growing, ding dong, the elixirs are growing. At this moment, the sound of system notifications continuously rang out. At this moment, Lin Rei was not annoyed. In fact, he was very happy. Is this AF * king joke? Lin Rei's current actions caused the human corpse, Jianghu, and the others below. This scene was the most shocking thing they had ever seen in their lives. Even the divine Venerable Pai Xiu would not dare to say that he could withstand the lightning tribulation with his bare hands and devour the lightning with his bare hands. Seeing the lightning tribulation's energy being absorbed by Lin Rei bit by bit, Jia Yang's heart was filled with endless envy. At this moment, Jia Yang began to think to himself. If the person who was absorbing the lightning energy was him, how great would that be? If that was the case, Jia Yang believed that if he was able to absorb the lightning energy, he would not have to worry about not being able to break through the shackles of his physical body. Unfortunately, he did not possess the ability or strength to do so. He was unable to absorb the lightning energy. He knew very well that he was unable to do so. Just like this, the crowd raised their heads. With shock that lasted for a very long time, they watched as Lin Rei absorbed the lightning energy to increase his strength. At this moment, Lin Rei also felt that his physical body that had been unable to break through for a very long time was improving at a speed visible to the naked eye. However, he knew that following the improvement of his physical body, the pain that he had to endure would also be proportional to his physical body. The feeling of pain caused his heart to become numb. Previously, when his fist collided with the lightning, it was already painful enough. However, after absorbing the lightning energy, Lin Rei finally understood what was called true heart-wrenching pain. What was called true freedom. If Lin Rei had not experienced the tempering of the lightning in the lightning territory in the Death Canyon for 100 years, he would not have such determination and perseverance. Rumble. Roar, however, at this moment, when Lin Rei was absorbing the lightning energy and shattering the lightning with his fist, the lightning tribulation had already felt Lin Rei's provocation. Facing Lin Rei's provocation, as the lightning tribulation of the heavenly punishment, how could it tolerate a human challenging its supreme authority? It's over. The lightning tribulation was enraged. At this moment, the might of the lightning began to rapidly increase. Looking at the rolling thunder clouds in the sky, the Pai Xiu's complexion suddenly changed. There was a trace of worry on his face. He still had some influence on the heavenly punishment. After all, he had not experienced the heavenly punishment for a long time. He was almost used to the taste of the heavenly punishment. At this moment, feeling the rapid increase in the might of the lightning tribulation, everyone's eyes revealed a worried look. Especially the human corpse, because this should be what he should bear, but now, phew. Lin Rei felt an indescribable comfort in his heart as he felt the rapid improvement of his physical body in the air. He had not felt this way for hundreds of years. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, more than 10 minutes had passed. The second wave of lightning tribulation had been successfully brewed. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had absorbed the lightning energy, had finally absorbed the first wave of lightning tribulation. His body had increased to a level that made Lin Rei excited. Feeling the benefits from the first wave of lightning tribulation, Lin Rei could not help but reveal an insatiable look on his face. Tisk, I'm so happy. I'm about to break through the semi-sage physical body. Just a little more, a little more. If I can use the lightning tribulation to break through my physical body and cultivation, that would be great. At this moment, Lin Rei longed for more. Now, not only did he hope that his physical body could break through, but he also hoped that his cultivation could break through at this moment. Breaking through to the middle stage of Divine Core Realm. In this way, the journey in the ancient corpse trove would be much safer and smoother. Rumble, at this moment, within the tribulation clouds, terrifying bolts of lightning condensed together and began to intertwine. A few minutes later, a blue thunder dragon appeared. The thunder dragon glared at Linley, its eyes filled with killing intent. It lowered its head and looked at Linley, who was standing in the air. Looking at him, the thunder dragon roared angrily. Then, with its huge body, it charged out of the tribulation clouds. Its speed was so fast that Linley was shocked. F***CK, not good. Looking at the lightning dragon rushing out, Lin Rei immediately knew that things were not good. Although he had great confidence, Lin Rei knew that if he had only used his physical body to resist the lightning dragon, he would have been killed before he could devour it and strengthen himself. Looking at the lightning dragon that had disappeared, Lin Rei did not dare to be careless. The chaotic dragon spear appeared in Lin Rei's hand. At this moment, holding the chaotic dragon spear, Lin Rei felt a lot more at ease. Looking at the place where the lightning dragon had disappeared, Lin Rei's lips curled into a smile. Not wasting any time, he closed his eyes and expanded his 5 senses in an instant. He began to investigate the lightning dragon's current location. Behind him, a huge dragon tail appeared in an instant. As for the dragon head, Lin Rei also saw that the dragon head was not far from his feet. F***CK, that's really sinister. Sensing the lightning dragon's current actions, Lin Rei could not help but break out in cold sweat. If it wasn't for his powerful 5 senses that had reached the Saint Realm, he was afraid that today, even with the help of the system, he would not be able to escape death. However, since he had sensed the lightning dragon's existence, Lin Rei naturally did not have to wait for death. However, what shocked the human corpse was that at this moment, Lin Rei still did not use any of his cultivation base. He was still using his physical body. Seeing this scene, Jia Yang was stunned. He knew that he would not be able to do such a thing. At this moment, Lin Rei's position in the sky. Lin Rei held the chaotic dragon spear in his hand. 9 azure dragons instantly rushed out from the chaotic dragon spear and rushed towards the sky. Lin Rei took the spear and disappeared in an instant. Sky blood spear art, millions of corpses, break for me. All of a sudden, a voice that was filled with coldness was heard from the other side. Lin Rei, who had disappeared, suddenly appeared. The spear in his hand instantly pierced out tens of thousands of spear shadows. Each of the shadows carried the profound meaning of the sky blood spear art, millions of corpses. Just like this, the dense spear shadows under Lin Rei's control instantly rushed towards the lightning dragon's tail. Oh! At this moment, the lightning dragon, who had sensed Lin Rei's intention, seemed to have innate intelligence. At this moment, it actually wanted to dodge Lin Rei's attack. However, would Lin Rei, who had used his battle technique, give the lightning dragon a chance to escape? The answer was, of course, impossible. Humph, how dare you! Lin Rei, who had a slight understanding of the lightning dragon, instantly strengthened his physical body again. His speed rose to an unimaginable level. The lightning dragon disappeared, and Lin Rei's figure disappeared together with the lightning dragon. Bang! A loud sound was heard. Lin Rei finally caught up with the lightning dragon above the dark clouds. Tens of thousands of spear shadows instantly rushed towards the lightning dragon's huge body, aiming for its waist. Suddenly, a loud sound was heard. At this moment, Lin Rei had already used 50% of his physical strength. Perhaps even a mid-hierarch cultivator would not be able to dodge such a powerful attack, let alone a lightning dragon that was formed by the lightning tribulation. However, despite saying that, Linley had to admit that this thunder tribulation was extremely powerful. It was something he had never experienced before. Even the lightning in the Death Gorge and the lightning dominion couldn't compare to this thunder tribulation. Bang! Oh! At the moment when the tens of thousands of spear shadows collided with the lightning dragon's body, a loud sound was heard, followed by the lightning dragon's painful cry. Gotcha! The sound of something breaking entered Lin Rei's ears. Lin Rei was overjoyed when he heard the sound. He then raised his head and looked at the lightning dragon. In the middle of the lightning dragon's huge body, there were many densely packed spiderweb-like things that were broken in an instant. As the sound got louder, the cracks in the middle of the lightning dragon's body became bigger and bigger. Finally, the lightning dragon's body exploded and the lightning dragon that was formed from the lightning dragon disintegrated back into its original shape. It turned into specks of energy and dissipated into the air. Trying to run away. Looking at the lightning dragon's shattered energy, Lin Rei's face revealed a dangerous expression. He immediately used the devouring heavenly art again. At this moment, the number of black holes that were twice as many as before suddenly appeared. Each of them had an enormous and irreversible suction force. They gradually appeared around the lightning energy and began to absorb the lightning energy with their enormous suction force. Bzzz, all of a sudden, the pain that had returned to normal appeared once again. Moreover, this pain was many times stronger than before. It could be said that Lin Rei had never experienced such pain in his entire life. The pain of having his flesh scraped off, his tendons pulled out, and his skin peeled off was nothing compared to the pain Linley was currently enduring. It wasn't even worth mentioning. The moment he felt the pain, Lin Rei felt his body sink and almost fell from the sky. Lin Rei was really in pain. It was so painful that he almost couldn't bear it anymore. What's going on? The Pai Xiu, who was standing on the ground and looking up at Lin Rei's current appearance, saw Lin Rei. Suddenly, its face darkened and its heart jumped to its throat. It even wanted to rush up to the lightning to quench Lin Rei's body. However, just when the Pai Xiu wanted to rush out and help Lin Rei resist the pain, its rationality told it that it shouldn't go. Because, if it joined in, the power of the lightning tribulation would increase again. In this way, Lin Rei would suffer even more pain than now. Sigh. At the side, looking at Lin Rei and the Pai Xiu, Biyao looked helpless. It opened its mouth and said softly to the Pai Xiu, "You don't have to do this. This is Lin Rei's own choice. Think about it, he should have his own ideas and solutions. We can only wait and see." Yes. That's the only way. The Pai Xiu understood Biyao's meaning and nodded. It stared at Lin Rei in the sky and didn't say anything. Please don't let anything happen to you." At this time, the human corpse in the distance looked at Lin Rei in the sky and felt guilty. He didn't expect Lin Rei to be so strong. Even Lin Rei, who defeated him, was in so much pain. At this moment, the pain was increasing again and again. This kind of pain had already exceeded the limits of his body's endurance. Quick! Use the pills to maintain your body's metabolism. Otherwise, you will definitely die today. Just at this time, just when Lin Rei was in so much pain that he couldn't use his strength, a voice that made Lin Rei surprised and happy sounded. Okay. Without hesitation, he endured the pain and with great difficulty, he mobilized his divine sense that was scattered because of the lightning energy and took out the pills that he had prepared. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't care what kind of pills they were. He grabbed a handful and stuffed them into his mouth and began to refine them. These pills were all recovery pills that Lin Rei had prepared in advance. Now, it confirmed the system's previous warning. Chapter 777. The pills melted as soon as they entered his mouth. If it were an ordinary person, they would probably explode and die after taking a handful of venerable grade pills, even though these pills were used to recover the body. However, the combined power of venerable grade pills was extremely huge. If the person who consumed them didn't have a strong fleshly body, the consequences would be unimaginable. As such, only Lin Rei took a handful of pills to recover his injuries. Immediately, a sinister look appeared on his face. Although they were all recovery-type pills, Lin Rei still felt pain from the huge amount of pills. However, it was still fine overall because the pills in his body started to evaporate at this moment. A huge amount of recovery energy started to rush towards Lin Rei's limbs and bones. The powerful medicinal power started to heal 70% of Lin Rei's body. His meridians, fleshly body, bones, and all the cells in his body were healed. The lightning energy rushed in crazily. Lin Rei's pain was unbearable. The powerful lightning energy tore his body apart time and time again. After that, Lin Rei took the pills and healed his body time and time again. This kind of pain wasn't something an ordinary person could endure. At this moment, if it weren't for the fact that Lin Rei was strong enough to survive, he probably wouldn't have been able to endure it. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Grand Perfection God realm. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Grand Perfection God Emperor realm. Ding dong, congratulations to the host for breaking through to the Peak Late Saint Dao Fruit Saint realm. As Lin Rei suffered endless pain, Lin Rei's determination to persevere through each realm disappeared from his mind. Hearing the system notification and the good news, Lin Lei's ferocious face finally managed to squeeze out a rare smile. Hong. A muffled sound came from Lin Rei's body. The cracks on his body started to heal at a miraculous speed. Ah, fortunately, I broke through. Otherwise, would have died here today. Sensing the enormous amount of energy flowing through his body and healing his body, a hint of a smile appeared on Lin Lei's face. In the system, seeing that Lin Rei was still able to find him in such a state, it immediately relaxed. It scolded jokingly, "Brat, this is what you have to endure to raise your cultivation level and increase your strength. Moreover, this is just the light test. There will be more tests for you in the future. I hope you can persevere." After saying that, the system went completely hidden and did not speak anymore. Lin Rei could not hear the words of the system at all. At this moment, Lin Rei was only thinking about raising his cultivation state and raising his physical body state. Moreover, he had a feeling that he could break through both the half-saint physical body and the ultimate god realm this time. This feeling became more and more intense as the pain in his body intensified. At the same time, hundreds of thousands of kilometers to the west, a young man dressed in luxurious clothing was standing in an empty area. His heart was filled with medicinal pills, and he raised his head to look in the direction of Lin Lei's group, a thoughtful expression on his face. Tisk, why do I feel that something is not right? It's as if something big is going to happen. I don't know if the people we sent have reached Third Brother. I hope he is safe and sound. Nothing bad will happen to him. At this moment, the young man looked into the distance and prayed. At this moment, the young man who spoke was none other than the second brother mentioned by the human corpse. He was the master of the second sky of ancient corpse burial, the earth corpse. Ah, at this moment, in the sky above where Lin Rei was, a tearing roar suddenly came from Lin Rei's mouth. At this moment, the cracks on the surface of Lin Rei's body had recovered. Moreover, it was more delicate and smooth than before the heavenly tribulation. His skin was as white as snow, just like the skin of an unmarried woman who had been raised in a boudoir. In addition, with Lin Rei's handsome appearance, if he were to wear women's clothing, he would be completely mistaken for a woman. At this moment, in the sky, 40 to 50 whirlpool black holes disappeared in the sky following Lin Rei's roar. Finally, the second lightning tribulation was completely devoured by Lin Rei. But following that, there was a third and even a fourth lightning tribulation. When a corpse underwent a heavenly tribulation, it would usually be 4 lightning tribulations. Because of the strength of the lightning tribulation, there would be much less lightning. But following the number of lightning tribulations, the lightning tribulations in the future would be several times stronger than the beginning, or even several times stronger. That power was enough to make one tremble in fear just thinking about it. Pung. With a pang sound, Linley appeared in midair. He then punched out, causing the sound of air being torn to shreds. Linley was certain that this punch was something that even late-stage god emperors would not be able to withstand. Raising his arms, Linley looked at his powerful and explosive arms, and a look of satisfaction appeared on his face. No matter what, this was a strength that could only be obtained after experiencing his birthday. Hong long long, hong long long. Kacha, kacha, hong long long. Just as Lin Rei was admiring his body that had already reached the peak of the deity realm, the thunderclouds above his head rolled again, and the third lightning tribulation began to condense and form. Damn, big brother, you can at least wait for me to rest for a while. Looking at the lightning tribulation that began to form, Lin Rei's expression changed, and he revealed a bitter smile. He knew that even if he said so, the lightning tribulation would continue to form, and Lin Rei was just comforting himself in his heart. On the ground, the Pai Xiu looked at the third thundercloud that began to form, and the worry on his face deepened. Even the face of the 8 treasures at the side began to turn ugly. This lightning tribulation, I'm afraid that it will be much stronger than the previous one. It seems that this time, shut up. The Pai Xiu roared. Hearing the words of the 8 treasures, the Pai Xiu's expression changed, and he sternly scolded the 8 treasures. Damned pig, this is the first time I've heard such words. However, I also hope that this will be the last time. I do not wish for such words to reach my ears again. I hope that you will not forget about it. Enough. The Pai Xiu was truly angered. From the Pai Xiu's point of view, Lin Rei was not only his savior, the two of them were also friends, relatives, comrades in arms, and so on. The Pai Xiu had long considered Lin Rei to be his other half, an indispensable character. The 8 treasures chose to remain silent. He knew that if he were to continue speaking like that, it would likely end up like what the Pai Xiu said in the past, and they would fight to the death, and kill him. Although he was a descendant of the 8 treasures Linglong clan, he did not have much confidence in his own immunity to magic. After all, in the Great Desolate Era, he had suffered countless deaths and injuries, and those that remained were all hidden and buried. Lin Rei, nothing must happen to you. Like the Pai Xiu, Jia Yang also began to worry, and his face was filled with nervousness. At this moment, both of his hands were tightly clasped together, grasping tightly. Time passed bit by bit. In the sky, Lin Rei had already adapted to the pain just now. And at this moment, his fleshy body and cultivation had recovered to its original state. Looking at the thunder clouds above his head, Linley saw that the thunder tribulation was about to strike. Suddenly, Linley sighed. He then released his Grand Perfection God Emperor fleshy body as well as his Grand Perfection Deity level fleshy body. Holding the Primal Chaos Dragon Spear, a peerless aura penetrated out from Lin Rei's body. Ao Wu. At this moment, the 9 azure dragons released by Lin Rei in the sky seemed to have felt the summons from Lin Rei's heart. They immediately rushed down from the sky, arriving beside Lin Rei in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, the 9 azure dragons surrounded Linley tightly, protecting him so tightly that not even a single gust of wind could pass through. At this moment, Lin Rei was ready to fight against the third thunder tribulation. With the Primal Chaos Dragon Spear in his hand, the 9 azure dragon support, the martial god's spatial energy, and his strong fleshy body, Lin Rei could be said to have circulated his cultivation to the extreme. Even the supreme grade deity weapon that he hadn't used for 1,000 years was used by Lin Rei at this moment. With the support of all these things, Lin Rei felt that it wouldn't be excessive to kill a middle-stage hierarch cultivator in an instant. But, for some reason, the thunder tribulation above his head made his heart palpitate. Awoo. The thunderclouds could sense Linley's powerful desire to do battle. Suddenly, the thunderclouds began to roil, and thunder boomed. The third bolt of tribulation lightning, which had been brewing for a long time, finally appeared. The thunder tribulation that was as thick as a tree that 10 people hugged, rushed out of the thunder clouds in an instant, aiming at Lin Ray and attacking him. F***CK. The moment the third thunder tribulation appeared, Lin Ray was shocked. This thunder tribulation made Lin Ray feel suffocated. Lin Ray didn't like this feeling very much. Seeing the thunder tribulation rushing towards him, Lin Ray didn't just sit there and wait for his death. He used all his support, using 120% of his strength to collide with the thunder tribulation above his head. Bang! Rumble! The loud sound instantly spread to the sky and the ground, as if it was going to shake the heavens, giving a sense of awe to all living beings. Boom! Suddenly, after the loud sound, a terrifying and huge wave of energy spread out in all directions with Lin Ray and the thunder tribulation as the center. At this moment, whether it was flying in the sky, walking on the ground, or in the water, everything within 10,000 miles was blown away by the energy wave created by Lin Ray and the thunder tribulation. Swoosh, bang. Bang bang, at this moment, Jianghu, the human corpse, the Biyao, and the 8 treasures were all blown away by the energy wave. Only when they were 1,000 miles away did they manage to break free from the energy wave with great difficulty. This energy is so powerful. At this moment, Jianghu fell heavily on the ground, and Lin Ray, who was in the sky 1,000 miles away, Jianghu's face was filled with shock and fear. Jianghu believed that it was only because they had powerful cultivations. If it wasn't for the fact that they had powerful cultivations, then they would have been crushed to death by the enormous and terrifying energy wave. Even now, Jianghu felt as if his entire body was falling apart. His entire body was extremely sore. At this moment, Jianghu's words and feelings were exactly what the human corpse, the Biyao, and the 8 treasures were feeling. Of course, as the initiator, Lin Ray, was feeling even more pain than them. At this moment, Lin Ray looked at the lightning dragon that collided with him and smiled bitterly in his heart. I'm still too weak. Otherwise, how could this bit of lightning possibly injure me to this extent? Roar. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the lightning dragon seemed to have gained intelligence. It responded to Lin Ray's words. Hearing that, Lin Ray lowered his head and frowned. Immediately after, he stimulated his body's potential once again. How could his strength increase? At this moment, the martial god's complete set of profoundness was being used by Lin Ray to the fullest. He did not hold back in the slightest. At this moment, Lin Ray and the lightning dragon were evenly matched. Neither of them was able to do anything to the other. Rumble, rumble, however, right at the moment when Lin Ray slightly relaxed, a change occurred. In the lightning clouds in the sky, the 4th lightning cloud began to brew. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray's expression changed enormously. Now, the lightning tribulation was already evenly matched with him. Furthermore, he had used all of his power. If another lightning tribulation were to descend, then, the consequences would not be something that Lin Ray would be able to endure. Furthermore, such a scene had never appeared in a lightning tribulation before. Before the 3rd lightning tribulation ended, the 4th lightning tribulation had begun to brew. The situation was completely out of Lin Ray's control. At this moment, Lin Ray started to panic. Lin Ray was truly panicking. He had never encountered such a scene before. At the same time, he also knew how frightening the 4th lightning tribulation would be. Not good. The 4th lightning tribulation has begun to brew. Furthermore, it will descend in less than a few minutes. If that's the case, the 3rd lightning tribulation will be strengthened by the 4th lightning tribulation. The consequences will be unimaginable. If it's a light punishment, the 2 people undergoing the lightning tribulation will be obliterated. If it's a heavy punishment, the area within a circumference of 10,000 miles will be completely turned into ashes. There will be nothing left. All sounds within 10,000 miles will be completely extinguished. At this moment, the Biyao that was 1,000 miles away looked at Lin Ray and the abnormal situation occurring in the lightning clouds above Lin Ray's head. His expression changed enormously. Then, at this moment, Hearing the Pishio's words, eighth baby wanted to cry but had no tears. He was scared. He was originally a courageous person. Then, what do we do? Lin Rei, he. Beside him, Jia Yang was also anxious. If that was the case, wouldn't Lin Rei's life be over? At this moment, the Pishio was speechless. He did not know what to do next. He was also panicking. With his current cultivation, not to mention the third lightning tribulation, even the second lightning tribulation would be unbearable. Boy, do you dare to bet? At this moment, when Lin Rei was panicking and at a loss, the system's urgent voice sounded. Bet on what? Lin Rei was puzzled by the system's words. Immediately, he asked. Bet on your life. Looking at Lin Rei, the system's tone was very solemn. That was because there were only two outcomes for this bet. One was to live, and the other was also to die. Hearing the system's two words, Lin Rei was stunned. Immediately after, he smiled miserably. Bet on my life? Do you think I still have the qualifications to choose? The current me is already a piece of meat on the chopping board. I can neither bet on it nor not bet on it. Furthermore, when have I, Lin Rei, ever been afraid of death? Looking at Lin Rei, the system chuckled and said, very well. Since that's the case, then let's bet on it. If the bet is correct, not only will your physical body reach the level of a half-saint and your cultivation reach the early Great Tao ultimate realm, even I. Chapter 778. Even I can break through to the fourth level. When that happens, the system will produce many unexpected things. At that moment, the system was extremely excited as though it had broken through. The energy from the lightning tribulation can help you break through. Lin Rei was shocked. He didn't expect the system to break through here. Lin Rei thought that it would take a long time for the system to break through, or even wait until they reached the holy world and devoured the spiritual energy in the holy world to cultivate. But he didn't expect, but since the system could break through by absorbing the lightning, why wouldn't Lin Rei do it? That's right. But the price is a little high. You may even lose your life because of it. Of course, it's fine if you don't agree. Anyway, I've chosen to give it to you. Looking at Lin Rei, the system said firmly. Lin Rei was speechless. Lin Rei could only choose between breaking through to the next level and breaking through the system because the system could help him resist the energy that he couldn't handle. With no other choice, Lin Rei could only nod in agreement. Since I can break through the system's level, let's do it. I don't have any other choice anyway. Heh, I knew you would make this choice. I didn't misjudge you. The system said with a smile. Fortunately, the system was an invisible consciousness. If it were a physical body, Lin Rei could imagine the system's shameless smile. Tell me, what do you need me to do? Lin Rei knew that the pain that was coming wouldn't be any weaker than this. And at that moment, when he agreed to the system's request, Lin Rei was prepared to endure everything. Seeing the look on Lin Li's face, the system laughed, then said, with a wave of your hand, use the devouring heavens mantra to devour the third and fourth combined tribulation lightning. Ignore the pain in your body, just focus on devouring. As for the chaotic dragon spear, you can throw it directly into the thunder tribulation and let it experience the baptism of the thunder tribulation. After this, I believe that the chaotic dragon spear will be able to recover some of its strength. When it comes out, the chaotic dragon spear should be able to become a saint weapon of the great path. At this moment, Lin Rei's eyes lit up. A sacred weapon. That was an existence that only saints could use. If he had a sacred weapon, who in the god realm would dare to fight against him? Thinking of this, Lin Rei couldn't help but feel excited. However, at the same time, Lin Rei's heart was also filled with worry. After all, the second lightning tribulation had already made him wish he was dead. Now that the third and fourth lightning tribulation had merged, one could imagine how powerful it would be. Don't worry. Looking at Lin Rei, the system knew what Lin Rei was thinking. It comforted him. I'll help you this time. Of course, I have to consider your physical body and cultivation first. After you break through these, I'll break through the system and the Chaos Dragon Spear. Although it's accompanied by high risks, if you can get through it, the rewards will be high. Lin Rei was already used to the system's lies. Therefore, Lin Rei basically ignored the system's words. Of course, there were some things that he had to remember. Alright, I understand. In the end, Lin Rei nodded and stopped the conversation between the two. Rumble, rumble, kacha. At this moment, the fourth lightning tribulation that had been brewing in the clouds suddenly swooped down. Its speed was so fast that even Lin Rei didn't notice it. In the blink of an eye, it had rushed to the third lightning tribulation and quickly merged with it. Bzzzt bzzzt bzzzt. The sound of the huge lightning was like 1,000 birds chirping at the same time. It made Lin Rei's eardrums vibrate and it was very uncomfortable. Crunch. A strange sound rang out. Linley's gaze searched for the source of the sound, only to see that his defense, the 9 azure dragons, was beginning to crack open and spread out in all directions in the shape of a spiderweb. F***CK. Feeling that his defense was slowly being destroyed by the lightning, Lin Rei's face turned ashen. He was also afraid of the power of the lightning. As time passed, it didn't take long for the 9 azure dragons to be destroyed. The lightning tribulation still carried an unstoppable momentum and rushed towards Lin Rei. Quick, use the devouring heavenly art. Suddenly, the system's voice was transmitted into Lin Rei's mind. In the next second, Linley's hands automatically activated the devouring heavenly art. But unlike in the past, the devouring heavenly art that Linley was using right now was being controlled by a surge of terrifying energy emanating from his body. This surge of energy was extremely powerful, so powerful that even Linley couldn't help but feel shocked. At this moment, Linley could even sense that this mysterious energy was far more powerful than the lightning in front of him. Boom! After the devouring heavenly art was activated, a huge black hole vortex that Lin Rei didn't even dare to imagine appeared directly in front of him. Moreover, a strange scene happened. The moment the black hole vortex of the devouring heavenly art appeared, it wrapped around the lightning and began to devour it bit by bit. Rumble, a loud rumble was heard. At that moment, the black hole vortex trembled violently as if it would collapse at any moment. However, as the black hole vortex trembled violently, the lightning became powerless to resist and even had the urge to break free and escape. This scene had completely stunned Lin Rei. He didn't expect the devouring heavenly art that he had always used to be so powerful and domineering. He didn't feel it at all before. Hiss! Suddenly, just as Linley was feeling both excited and envious, a terrifying pain suddenly spread throughout Linley's entire body. This pain was far, far greater than the pain of the second bolt of lightning. At that moment, the pain had already cleansed and tempered Lin Rei's body. Every single cell was breathing and devouring the lightning energy that the black hole vortex had devoured. However, while Lin Rei was feeling both pain and joy, his body twitched from the pain and no longer had the ability to stand proudly in the air. Without any doubt, Lin Rei, who had lost his ability, could only let his body fall and crash heavily on the ground. Boom! Dust flew everywhere. At this moment, Linley's body had smashed a human-shaped hole in the ground. It was so deep that one couldn't see the bottom of it. However, following Lin Rei's descent, the black hole vortex and lightning also followed. Boom! Kacha, the power of the lightning, the power of the devouring heavenly art and Lin Rei's powerful body made the earth rumble the moment the three came into contact with the ground. The ground within a radius of 100 meters instantly caved in. The scene was extremely terrifying. At that moment, Jia Yang, the human corpse, Pai Xiao, and the others who were standing 1,000 miles away all stared at this scene with their eyes wide open. Ding dong. Physical body is rapidly improving, ding dong. Physical body is about to collapse. Host, please repair it quickly, ding dong. Just like that, the system notifications that Lin Rei was getting more and more energetic rang out one after another. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, a few days had passed. The thunderclouds still hadn't dissipated. The third and fourth lightning tribulation that fell on Lin Rei's body was still being devoured by the devouring heavenly art. However, the size of the lightning tribulation had begun to weaken little by little. Lin Rei was very happy about this. Fortunately, no accidents happened during this period of time. Moreover, they could feel that their bodies were infinitely close to the half-saint realm after absorbing the lightning for the past few days. As long as they put in more effort, they believed that it wouldn't take long for them to break through. Although pain was constantly eroding Lin Rei's body during this period of time, it was indeed accompanied by a power that would benefit Lin Rei for the rest of his life. Lin Rei was very willing to accept this. Lightning densely covered Lin Rei's body as if Lin Rei was wearing clothes made of lightning. At that moment, Lin Rei was like a thunder god who had descended to the world. He was majestic, dignified, and inviolable. Kacha. Kacha, however, as Lin Rei devoured the lightning faster and faster, and more, finally, a cracking sound was heard. Rumble. An enormous surge of blood and chi instantly surged out from within Linley's body, accompanied by an enormous oppressive aura of power. In the blink of an eye, the huge blood and chi pressure and cultivation pressure instantly spread over thousands of miles. At this moment, Jianghu and the others who were standing thousands of miles away suddenly felt this controlling pressure. Their bodies suddenly trembled, and a trace of a smile appeared on their faces. Oh, it seems that my previous worries are no longer important. I didn't expect that this kid would have such an opportunity. He's fine even after being turned into this by the lightning tribulation. At this moment, feeling this huge pressure and the power of blood and chi, the Pai Shou accurately knew that this was Lin Rei's because no one else had such a powerful blood and chi. At the same time, not only the Pai Shou, even Jianghu was the same. His face revealed a rejoicing expression, and he muttered in his heart, "Great, Lin Rei is fine. Sigh, it seems that I won't be his opponent in the future." At this moment, Jianghu knew that after experiencing such a terrifying thunder tribulation, it would be a lie to say that Linley's fleshly body had not made a breakthrough. In addition, just from the suppressive aura of Linley's cultivation base and the suppressive aura of chi and blood, Jianghu could sense that he was no longer a match for Linley. At this moment, the two of them were completely separated from each other. But even so, Lin Rei's improvement brought Jianghu endless motivation. Fortunately, he's fine. Fortunately, he's fine. At the side, the human corpse who was standing beside Jianghu felt Lin Rei's aura. His heart that was previously in his mouth was at ease at this moment. At the same time, the sincere admiration on his face was undoubtedly exposed. He didn't expect that such a terrifying lightning tribulation could be resisted. If it was him who went through the tribulation, he would have already left this world after the first and second lightning tribulation. At this moment, he knew that Lin Rei was fine. Everyone's anxious heart towards Lin Rei was at ease. In the deep pit, Lin Rei didn't wake up. Instead, he was quietly lying on the ground. But if one looked carefully, they would be able to see that Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of a smile. In the system, Lin Rei sat on the ground. Feeling the power coming from his body, Lin Rei's face was filled with excitement. Ha ha ha. Great, I've finally broken through. If I didn't break through, I'm afraid that he wouldn't be able to hold on. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't restrain himself and laughed out loud. All right, since you've settled your problem, it's my turn now. At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's laughter, the system directly came out and said to him. Then, it entered the system and the Chaos Dragon Spear's upgrade. TSK, go and check your own information. It's been a long time since I checked it. Lin Rei wasn't worried about the system. After all, after what happened just now, he knew how powerful the system was. As he thought about it, his body instantly disappeared from this space and was transferred to the space that specialized in checking one's personal information. At this moment, when he arrived at the information space, all his information appeared. Name, Lin Rei. Age, 3580. System level, 3 cultivation level, Early Divine Master Experience. 543984672 Mythical Dragon. 10000000000 Mythical Dragon. Spiritual Roots. Thunder, Fire, Wood, Metal Chaos Spiritual Roots Innate Talent. Middle Stage Tao Fruit Saint Cultivation Technique. Primal Chaos Scripture 3rd Level. Incomplete, Devouring Heavenly Technique. Growable, Primordial Pill Refinement. Entry Level Cultivation Technique. Cloud Formula, Emperor Level Cultivation Technique. Same Formation, Emperor Level Cultivation Technique. Tyrant Body Technique, Emperor Level Cultivation Technique. Thunder Tyrant Body, Emperor Level Secret Technique. Thunder Scripture, Divine Level Cultivation Technique. Martial Skills, Butterfly Steps, Entry Level. Stellar Finger, Proficient, Silent Thunder Spear Art, High Dark Level Martial Skill, now cultivated to the entry level, can produce 3 lightning bolts. Myriad Sword Art, Heaven Level, Level 3 Incineration, Emperor Level. Dragon Subduing Step, Emperor Level. Shura Spear Art, King Level. Shura Sword Formation, King Level. Shura Transformation, Emperor Level. Spiritual Treasures, Chaos Dragon Spear, Supreme Grade Divine Weapon, Martial Emperor Divine Spear, Divine Weapon Lower Grade, Growable, 10,000 Magic Sword, Ungraded, Myriad Beasts Treasure Furnace, Heavenly Temple, Upper Grade Celestial Weapon, Universe, Ungraded, Equipment, Flowing Light Divine Weapon Supreme Grade Set Mount, Early Divine Master Lucky Draw Wheel, 0 Character Lottery. System, 0 times Reputation Points, for 000 Redemption Points, for 900 000 Spiritual Stones, 0 Supreme, Grade Alchemist, 6,000 Candle Dragons, 6,000 Candle Dragons, waiting to be upgraded Supreme Grade Array Master, 5,900 Candle Dragons, 6,000 Candle Dragons, Supreme Grade Equipment Refiner, 5,800 Candle Dragons, 6,000 Candle Dragons, Supreme Grade Talisman Master, 5,680 Candle Dragons, 6,000 Candle Dragons, Top Spiritual Medicine, Heavenly Materials and Earthly Treasures, 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Nephrite, 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Sand, 50 kilograms of Purple Gold Divine Iron. Mission, Main Mission, Enter the Holy World within 1,000 years. Side Mission, Refine the Sky-Reaching Tower. No time limit. Become the Sect Master of the Talisman Sect within 100 years. Elixir Pills, 11 Mind Control Pills, 6,234 Mind Control Pills, oh, not bad. Looking at his own information, Linley's face revealed a happy smile. Although his current cultivation was still a distance away from becoming a sage, Lin Ray believed that he would definitely be able to enter the Holy World within 1,000 years. After reading the information, he felt a little proud of his current achievements, but he did not feel complacent because of his current cultivation. Although he was in the system at this moment, Lin Ray could still feel that his Taoist foundation was a little unstable because his cultivation had increased too quickly. Suddenly, with a thought, Linley arrived at the center of the primordial chaos formation. Sitting down in the lotus position and closing his eyes, he began to stabilize his power. After all, the system hadn't made its breakthrough yet, and his body could continue to absorb lightning energy from the outside world. Chapter 779. Just like that, Lin Ray began to consolidate his cultivation base while the system began to upgrade his realm. As for the Chaos Dragon Spear, under the system's control, it was directly thrown into the Thunder Tribulation and released 9 Azure Dragons to let it devour the power of thunder and lightning on its own. With this, it could break through the current realm and restore to its previous realm. In the outside world, Pai Xiao and the others saw Lin Ray's current state and knew that they would have to wait for him to wake up. At this moment, everyone sat cross-legged and began to cultivate. And within this area of 1,000 kilometers, Humanoid had ordered the corpses to surround the area, not allowing anyone else to interfere with Linley or the Pai Xiao's group. In this regard, Jia Yang, Pai Xiao and the others gradually treated Human Corpse as one of their own after seeing his actions. Time seemed to have come to a halt at this moment. Everyone entered a state of cultivation, while Linley entered a state of consolidation as well. Whoosh, whoosh, however, the current situation did not stop for long. Human Corpse and the others began to cultivate. However, who knew that a few sounds of breaking through the air could be heard instantly? At this moment, Pai Xiu, Jia Yang, and the others all opened their eyes. Their eyes were cold. At this time, no matter who it was, they must be careful. After all, Lin Rei was still cultivating at this moment. They did not dare to be careless. If Ruo Lin was awake, Pai Xiu and the others would definitely not care about the people who came. Human Corpse, who had entered the cultivation and consolidation state, also woke up at this moment. His eyes were filled with doubt as he looked into the distance. He saw more than a dozen figures appear in front of everyone in a short while. Looking at the arrival of these people, Human Corpse was stunned. He suddenly remembered that his second brother said that he would send people over. Looking at them, Human Corpse understood. Immediately, he turned his head with an awkward expression and explained to Pai Xiu and the others, "Everyone, don't panic. These are the ultimate god experts that my second brother sent to protect me. In the past, my eldest brother felt the power, so he asked my second brother to keep an eye on me and not let me mess around. My second brother also has a territory to guard, so he sent them. However, after so long, they didn't come. I thought they wouldn't come, so I forgot about this matter." Looking at the Human Corpse and the dozen ultimate god corpses behind it, everyone understood what was going on. Suddenly, a smile appeared on his face and the Pai Xiu said, "It's okay, you can go." Yes. Everyone agreed with Pai Xiu's words. Hearing Pai Xiu's agreement, the Human Corpse nodded and walked towards the dozen zombies behind him. "Leader, we are here to protect you under the orders of the second leader." At this moment, the dozen or so corpses looked at the Human Corpse and bowed respectfully to him. Alas! Seeing them act like this, the Human Corpse looked helpless and said, "All right, you can all get up." Yes. Before everyone recovered, they stood straight and looked at the Pai Xiu and the others vigilantly, not daring to take their eyes off of them for a moment. At this moment, the Human Corpse felt that they were looking at the Pai Xiu and the others vigilantly, so he quickly said, "All right, they are not in danger. Since you are here, then stay here and guard us. As for the rest, just wait for my orders. Do you understand?" "Understood, we will follow your orders." At this moment, after getting the Human Corpse's confirmation that the Pai Xiu and the others were not in danger, the dozen zombies walked towards the back and separated. Finally, they stood still and started their work of guarding. In response, the Human Corpse revealed a smile and didn't say anything else. He returned to his original spot and everyone went into seclusion again. At this moment, the dozen or so corpses were looking at Lord Zong of the First Heaven and how the Human Corpses were treating the gods. Their faces were filled with confusion, but before they came here, the Earth Corpses had instructed them to obey the Human Corpses' orders, no matter what the Human Corpses asked of them. Therefore, at this moment, they did not voice their doubts. They anxiously stood still and quietly waited for the Human Corpses' next order. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, 10 years had passed. In the past 10 years, Linley continued to train within the system. As for the system, during the first year, it absorbed all the lightning tribulation into the system. The moment the fourth lightning tribulation was completely absorbed by the system, the thunderclouds in the sky instantly dispersed. The moment the thunderclouds dispersed, the Human Corpse, Pai Xiu, and the others woke up once. However, after that, everyone went back to cultivating in silence. In the past, there were more than a dozen ultimate god corpses guarding the side. Even passers-by took a detour when they saw this scene. They were afraid of this scene. Ding dong, congratulations to the host. The system has upgraded to level 4. The space has been enlarged by 10 times. Ding dong, the system has upgraded. The trial tower has been activated. The trial tower is divided into 10 levels. The 10 levels correspond to the space. The first 2 levels correspond to the ultimate god, the late ultimate god and the pill flame saint. Why is there no more? Didn't you say there were 10 levels? Just as Linley was engrossed in the story, the system notification suddenly stopped. Linley asked, what's the matter? Ding dong, I'm sorry, host. Your level is not high enough to know, so hurry up and improve your cultivation. Air. Lin Rei was speechless when he heard the system's words. He wanted to refute, but the system was right. In the end, Lin Rei could only sigh. All right, you've been here for so long. Isn't it time for you to go out? If you don't go out now, it's almost time for the poison to take effect. At this moment, the system's voice suddenly rang out. Lin Li was stunned for a moment before he nodded in response. Yes, I know. I think so too. Lin Rei paused for a moment before he continued, oh right, my, swoosh. Just as Lin Rei finished speaking, a sound broke through the air and descended from the sky. Bang! Kacha! A long spear with 9 lifelike dragons carved on its shaft could be seen. A terrifying dragon's aura appeared and spread out in all directions. At the moment when the spear pierced into the ground, the place where the spear had pierced into began to crack. Holy shit, this is my primal chaos dragon spear? At this moment, Lin Li looked at his weapon. Other than shock, there was only shock. He had been using the chaos dragon spear this entire time, but now, Lin Li could sense the draconic might, murderous intent, and many other sensations emanating from the spear that made Lin Li's heart tremble. That's right, this is the chaos dragon spear. The system wasn't bothered by Lin Rei's astonishment. This. Lin Rei's eyes were filled with surprise and astonishment. Then, without hesitation, he reached out and grabbed the chaos dragon spear that was stabbed into the ground before him. Then, he exerted some force with his right arm and pulled it out. Roar, trembling in joy. At this moment, the chaos dragon spear in Lin Rei's hand seemed to have sensed Lin Rei's aura. The moment it was grabbed, the spear trembled violently. Heh, sensing the changes in the chaos dragon spear, Lin Rei revealed a joyful smile. In this moment, Lin Li had the urge to not put it away. In this moment, aside from the fact that he was unwilling to part with it, there was nothing else in Lin Li's mind. How is it? Lower sacred weapon, lower innate treasure. What do you think? The system's indifferent voice sounded again. Ugh. Don't insult my brother. It's not that I don't think it's that great. I just didn't expect the Chaos Dragon Spear to evolve into such a powerful existence, Lin Rei said in astonishment. Ha. Upon hearing Lin Rei's words, the system chuckled. Then, it didn't say anything else and fell into silence. Martial God Stratagem, Killing Intent. All of a sudden, the martial god activated the stratagem. The space within 100 meters started to compress rapidly. At this moment, it was fortunate that there wasn't anyone within the 100 meters. If there was, perhaps, he would be crushed to death by the space. TSK, TSK. Lin Rei was dumbfounded at the sight of the Chaos Dragon Spear that was enhanced by the stratagem of the martial god and a lower sacred weapon. Not bad at all. He withdrew his cultivation and didn't store it away. How could Lin Rei let such a powerful existence be covered in dust? With a single thought, he brought the Chaos Dragon Spear out of the system and back into his body. As for the Saint artifact, the Chaos Dragon Spear also appeared by Lin Li's side the moment his consciousness returned to his body. Phew, Lin Rei let out a long breath and felt the energy coming from his body. He felt indescribably comfortable. Slowly, he opened his eyes and looked at the gloomy sky. Lin Rei was stunned for a moment before he came to his senses. TSK, I wonder how they are doing. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had regained consciousness, was worried about Jia Yang and the others. He was afraid that the lightning tribulation would affect them. As he thought about this, Lin Li stretched his body, then rose to his feet. Looking at his tattered clothes, Lin Li let out a bitter laugh, then removed the tattered clothes and soft armor he was wearing. Then, he took out a new set of sacred weapons and put them on. At this moment, Lin Rei felt much more comfortable. Stretching out his hand, the Chaos Dragon spear on the ground rose into the sky and landed perfectly in Lin Rei's hand. After doing all this, Lin Rei soared into the sky and rushed out of the big hole he created. Who? Suddenly, a roar came from afar. Lin Rei, who had just rushed out of the deep hole, heard the roar and quickly turned his head to look for the source of the roar. He saw Jia Yang, the human corpse, Pai Xiu, Ba Bao and the others sitting on the ground, cultivating in silence. Around them, there were more than 10 human corpses. At first glance, Lin Rei could clearly feel the aura of the hierarch realm coming from them. Chapter 780. Seeing Jia Yang and the others sitting there peacefully and cultivating, Lin Rei knew that these ultimate gods did not have any ill intentions towards them. In addition to their identity as corpses, Lin Rei could not help but think of the human corpses. Looking at them, Lin Rei took a step forward and arrived in front of the ultimate gods in the blink of an eye. He said with a kind expression, "Don't be nervous. I am with Jia Yang and the others." The human corpses also know each other. In order to not cause any unnecessary misunderstandings, Lin Rei added the human corpses in the end. Oh, so that's how it is. At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's words and seeing that Lin Rei did not have a trace of killing intent, the corpse brothers thought that they were the most representative corpses and smiled. Looking at the ultimate gods in front of him, Lin Rei could not help but sigh. In the divine realm, there were not many ultimate gods. It was already very good for a sect to have 2 or 3 ultimate gods. Moreover, those were the efforts of the sect's old ancestors and the younger generation's geniuses. But now, looking at the ancient corpse trove, there were more than 10 ultimate gods that casually appeared. In addition to the 3 masters of the ancient corpse trove, Lin Rei could not help but sigh at the strength of the ancient corpse trove. Lin Rei could feel the strength coming from these people in front of him. However, at this moment, Lin Rei did not think that they would be his opponents. The space suddenly became quiet. For a moment, Lin Rei's face revealed an awkward expression as he did not know what to say. Looking at them sitting on the ground cultivating, in the end, Lin Rei could not endure such an atmosphere and immediately transmitted his voice to Pai Xiu and the others, "You all, it's time to wake up." That one sentence instantly exploded in everyone's mind without them noticing. A scream came out from Jia Yang's mouth. On the side, when the Pai Xiu heard Lin Rei's voice, it instantly withdrew from its cultivation. It opened its eyes and scanned its surroundings, looking for Lin Rei's figure. The moment he turned his head, he saw Lin Rei's strong, straight, and unscathed body appear in front of him. For a moment, a smile appeared on his face. He came to Lin Rei's side, looked at him, and scolded with a smile, "You bastard, do you know how dangerous the lightning tribulation is? Are you crazy? If you die, what will I do?" Looking at Pai Xiu, it was obvious that Lin Rei did not expect this scene. However, Lin Rei was not angry at Pai Xiu's teasing. Instead, he felt warm in his heart because he knew that Pai Xiu was caring about him in disguise. However, he was too embarrassed to express it. In response, Lin Rei smiled and replied with embarrassment, I didn't think that the corpse tribulation would be such a powerful lightning tribulation. However, it's no wonder. After all, it's not in the 5 elements. Transcending reincarnation? You brat." Seeing that Lin Rei was safe and sound, Pai Xiu did not say anything else. However, after seeing that Lin Rei was safe and sound, a smile that was rarely seen before was still on his face. "Lin Rei, you." At that time, Pai Xiu retreated and Jia Yang also walked over. He looked at Lin Rei with a worried and excited expression. He wanted to say something, but after saying a few words, he was unable to say anything else. "I'm fine. Don't worry. I haven't brought you back to the sect yet. How could I let you off so easily?" Knowing what Jia Yang wanted to say, Lin Rei joked. PFFF. Hearing Lin Rei's words, Jia Yang was unable to hold back and burst out laughing. "Lin Rei. Just when Lin Rei and Jia Yang were talking and laughing, a voice suddenly rang out. This voice. Lin Rei was very familiar with this voice. It was none other than the corpse of the first Heaven's Sky Master. Seeing the human corpse walking over, Lin Rei had a trace of a smile on his face. Then, he said, "How is it? Right now, your choice is, I promise you that I will join your sect and become a member of your sect. I will be loyal to your sect for all eternity and will never betray you. If I violate this oath, I will be struck by 10,000 bolts of lightning and die in ashes." Rumble, suddenly, the instant the human corpse finished speaking, thunder rumbled in the sky. It was as if it was responding to the human corpse's oath. It was as if the oath was acknowledged by the great Tao. On the side, hearing the human corpse's words, the smile on Lin Rei's face became even wider. Originally, he thought that it was a double blessing, but now, it was indeed 3. His cultivation increased, the system and the primal chaos dragon spear increased, and now, the human corpse's wish was fulfilled. This caused Lin Rei to want to quickly continue. That way, he would be able to subdue the remaining 2 Sky Masters and obtain the Corpse King pill. Good. Seeing how resolute the human corpse was, Lin Li said "good" 3 times in a row. And then, with a thought, he selected a top-grade divine artifact spear from his storage ring, then handed it over to the human corpse. This. Looking at the spear in front of him, the human corpse was stunned. He could feel that this spear was extraordinary. "This is for you. Although our first meeting was a little unpleasant, now that you have pledged your allegiance to me, I naturally have to give you a greeting gift." After saying that, Lin Rei stretched out his hand to the human corpse again. The human corpse was speechless. At this moment, the human corpse rolled his eyes. He wanted Lin Rei to experience for himself what it meant to be a little unpleasant to meet for the first time. Just the fact that he was repeatedly injured left the human corpse speechless. However, even so, the human corpse still stretched out his hand to take the spear that Lin Rei handed over. As the saying went, it would be a waste to not take it. He could feel that the spear was extraordinary. Such a good item, he did not find it on the disciples of the sect who entered the ancient corpse vault. Swoosh swoosh swoosh, after receiving the spear, the human corpse immediately waved the spear around. Beautiful and murderous spear flowers could be seen being waved around by the human corpse. Good spear. The human corpse stopped waving his arms and looked at the spear in his hand. He praised the spear with 2 words. It could be seen that the human corpse was very satisfied with the spear that Lin Rei gave him. At this moment, the dozen ultimate god corpses standing behind the human corpse looked at the spear in the human corpse's hand with envy and jealousy on their faces. Their eyes were filled with strong expectations. As an ultimate god expert, who would not wish to have a weapon that they could use as they wished? Unfortunately, they did not have the opportunity to obtain a weapon that was suitable for them since they grew up in the ancient corpse vault. Lin Rei naturally saw the expectations in the ultimate god's eyes. However, it had nothing to do with him. Of course. If they were willing to pledge their allegiance to him, Lin Rei could still consider it. He shifted his gaze away from the corpses of the ultimate gods and said with a firm expression, "All right, now that we're done here, it's time to move on to the next stop, the second heaven." Yes, it has been 10 years since we came to the ancient corpse vault. We must speed up. At this moment, Pai Xiao nodded in agreement after listening to Lin Rei's plan. What? 10 years? Lin Rei suddenly asked in surprise. He did not ask about the time when he came out. Moreover, he thought that he had only spent 2 or 3 years in the system. Nonsense. Seeing Lin Li so surprised, the Pai Xiao rolled its eyes and looked at Lin Li as if it was looking at an idiot. However, they did not know how important these 10 years were to Lin Rei. Thinking that he would be killed by the poison if he could not send the Corpse King pill back within 100 years, Lin Rei suddenly felt that he must speed up. Because he did not have much time left. Let's go. After making the decision, Lin Rei looked at the human corpse. Looking at him, Lin Ray asked, "Human corpse, will you lead the team from now on? We don't know how to get to the second heaven. Moreover, with you leading the team, it will save us a lot of trouble on the way." The human corpse was stunned when he heard Lin Ray's words. He thought for a while and finally nodded helplessly. "All right, but I won't do anything when we reach the second heaven. After all, that's my second brother." "All right, don't worry about that. Moreover, I will try my best not to do anything wherever we go. Don't worry." Lin Ray could guarantee that. The human corpse was not afraid of Lin Ray's hands. He was afraid that his second brother would suffer Lin Ray's inhumane torture just like him. Lin Ray discussed with the human corpse. However, he did not avoid the ultimate gods who came from the second heaven to protect the human corpse. At that moment, the ultimate gods' faces turned gloomy when they heard that the human corpse and the humans were going to join forces to go to the second heaven. They did not expect that the younger brother of the second heaven's heaven master would lead the humans to attack the second heaven. However, even so, they did not make a move because they could feel the pressure from his strength. Especially when they saw the long spear on Lin Ray's back, their hearts trembled and palpitated. That feeling came from the weapon. They could not help but quieten down and did not dare to act rashly. "Let's go." Just like that, Lin Ray and the others finally set off again. However, this time, their journey was very smooth and there were no obstacles. Whoosh, a red figure fell from the sky in a sorry state. She looked at the sky with a frightened and ugly expression. Her eyes were filled with anger and unwillingness. "Ha ha ha. Jade-faced Rakshasa, hand over your Buddhist beads obediently. If you do so, we will consider letting you go. After all, it was not easy for you to cultivate to your current level." At that moment, a few figures appeared in the sky and floated in the air. They bent down and looked at the jade-faced Azura who fell to the ground with a cold smile. At that moment, if Lin Ray was here, he would recognize that the person who fell to the ground was none other than the jade-faced Azura who was separated from him in the ancient corpse vault, the ultimate god expert. However, she did not seem to be in a good situation at the moment. You are a group of shameless people. You are at least the ancestors of the 7 sects in the divine realm. I did not expect you to commit murder and robbery. Bah. Chapter 781. Don't say that. The old men didn't take her words to heart at all. It was as if they didn't care at all. You should know that no one in the divine world can resist the temptation of a sacred artifact. I'm afraid that even the strongest of the divine world can't resist this temptation. At this moment, one of them spoke up. The old man who spoke was the old ancestor of the alchemy sect, Dan Chinzi. The alchemy sect had always dealt with matters peacefully. In the past, they would avoid such matters as much as possible. However, a sacred artifact, there was no one in the divine realm who did not want to obtain it. If a saint obtained a holy weapon, it meant that his sect would become the ruler of the god realm. All the other sects would choose to submit to him. Therefore, as the ancestor of the Danzong sect, who never stirred up trouble, he couldn't let the holy weapon be taken away by others. Heh, that's right. Dan Chinzi is right. We must have that thing in your hand. The other 3 old men walked up the mountain and looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa viciously. It was as if the item in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand was already theirs. Bastards, you all. At that moment, seeing the desire on the faces of the 4 old men before her, as well as the various kinds of greed in their eyes, the jade-faced Rakshasa despaired. She knew that if a miracle did not happen today, her life would end today. Moreover, the jade-faced Rakshasa believed that even if she handed over the item, they wouldn't let her go. They were afraid that this matter would be leaked. Although the 7 sects had a high status in the god realm, there was always someone stronger than them. They couldn't be sure that there wasn't someone stronger than them in the god realm. Therefore, just in case, they had to silence her. Human corpse, how far are we? A group of people flew over from nearby. It's still early. If we fly like this, I'm afraid it'll take us some time to get there. However, if we fly at full speed, I believe we'll arrive in less than 10 days. At this moment, the one who spoke was none other than the human corpse, the Lord of the First Heaven. The person who spoke was none other than the Pai Shio of Lin Rei's group. Is it that far? Hearing the human corpse's words, Lin Rei's face revealed a trace of surprise. He didn't expect this ancient corpse trove to be so big. According to the human corpse, this ancient corpse trove was bigger than a province in the divine world. For such a huge place, how powerful would the array formation be? At this moment, Lin Rei's heart trembled. His facial muscles began to twitch, and his eyes widened, filled with shock. One had to know that even he, who was at the peak of the venerable realm, did not have such great confidence in being able to cover an area the size of a province without knowing the formation. Even if he was at the Saint Realm, Lin Rei doubted that he could do it. This was very similar to the formation in Jade City. It was a very large formation. Lin Rei had only seen this kind of formation twice in his life. The first was Jade City, and the second was this place. Seeing Lin Rei's shock, human corpse seemed to know what he was thinking. He then slowly opened his mouth and said, "Yes, this place is very big. Rather than calling it an ancient corpse trove, it's better to call it a space created by someone. A very large space, a space created by formations." Huh? Hearing human corpse's words, Lin Rei was stunned. His eyes were filled with surprise. Could it be that you know this place is? Yes, how long have we lived here? We don't even remember. We've already figured out some things here, so. Moreover, we can't leave this place at all. The strange thing is that you can come in and leave at the same time, but we can't. Human corpse fell silent. Not only human corpse, but also the corpses behind human corpse fell silent. They were more willing than anyone else to try life in the divine realm. However, they seemed to be tied up here and couldn't leave at all. At this moment, Linley was deep in thought. He had already learned a lot about their situation on the way here, especially after seeing the seal at the entrance. He was even more clear about it now. However, Lin Rei wasn't worried at all about whether human corpse could leave or not. After all, he had a system. Moreover, Lin Rei believed that the system wasn't simple. Even the Great Tao couldn't detect the existence of the system. Therefore, as long as he put human corpse into the system, he should be able to break the restriction here and take him out of here. When he thought of this, the corners of Linley's mouth curled up into a faint smile. However, when the human corpse noticed this, suspicions began to creep into his heart. Feeling human corpse's strange gaze, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. Then, he quickly said what was on his mind. "I can take you out of here." It was a clean and direct answer, without any hesitation. What? Human corpse was shocked, and so were the corpses. This was too heaven-defying. How could they not be shocked? However, after being shocked, their faces became sarcastic. How is that possible? How can you take us out of here? We can't leave at all. Disappointment, despair, and endless pain appeared in human corpses and the corpses' eyes at this moment. Lin Rei was stunned by their silence and negativity. Then, he scolded coldly, spineless things. Since you've followed me, do you think I'll leave you here? Just like I promised you before, since I've taken you in, I'll naturally take you out of here. Don't worry about that. I, Lin Rei, am a man of my words. If you don't believe me, you can ask Pai Shio. Ask him how I treated him back then. Pointing at Pai Shio, he was speechless. Hearing Lin Rei's reprimand, human corpse and the others were stunned. Then, they looked in the direction of Lin Rei's finger. At this moment, although Pai Shio was very unhappy with Lin Rei's analogy, he finally nodded in agreement. That's right. Back then, when I was being suppressed, Linley promised to save me in a few hundred years. Back then, Linley's cultivation base was only at the body integration realm. Back then, I didn't believe that he would be able to transcend tribulation. But in the end, reality won out, and he did it. Speaking of this, Pai Xiu's eyes were filled with gratitude. If Lin Rui didn't go there at that time, it wouldn't be long before his soul was completely erased by the formation that suppressed him. This. Looking at Pai Xiu, Human Corpse hesitated, but he gradually believed it in his heart. Because he thought that Lin Rui could miss such a powerful thunder tribulation and become a divine master. Based on this alone, Human Corpse also believed it. After pondering for a few minutes, Human Corpse's eyes became firm. Then, he nodded and said, I believe that the person I chose is not wrong. The person you chose? At this moment, seeing that Human Corpse believed in him, Lin Rui exclaimed softly with a face full of doubt. Let's not talk about this for now. Let's hurry. Hearing Lin Rui's doubt, Human Corpse's face turned red and he quickly interrupted. Then, he abruptly raised his cultivation and increased his speed. Like a rocket, he instantly rushed far away. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, seeing Human Corpse's reaction, the others didn't hide it and burst into laughter. At this moment, Lin Rui and the others were not the only ones who laughed. Even the corpses were the same. They had never seen Human Corpse so cute. Just like this, the others didn't dare to neglect Human Corpse's speed. They increased their speed and chased after him. You're all shameless. Suddenly, after flying for an unknown period of time, a voice that Chen Dan and Jia Yang were familiar with entered their ears. However, unlike before, this voice was filled with despair and fear. This voice is Jade-faced Rakshasa. Seeing the uncertainty on Jia Yang's face, Lin Rui said. Yes, Jade-faced Rakshasa. Hearing Lin Rui's confirmation, Jia Yang's face showed a trace of a smile. However, his face immediately turned sour because Jade-faced Rakshasa's words just now had a deeper meaning. Looks like there's going to be some fun. At this moment, Lin Rui's face showed a trace of an amused smile. Although time was tight, Lin Rui still had to intervene when he met an acquaintance. Although he wasn't very fond of Jade-faced Rakshasa, there was an old saying. However, as the old saying goes, one more friend means one more path. Moreover, the Jade-faced Rakshasa was an ultimate god expert. Do you want to go and have a look? At this moment, Human Corpse, who was leading the way in front, saw the smile on Lin Rui's face and quickly came to his side to ask. Of course. Of course. Glancing at the corpse, Lin Li replied. Whoosh. After receiving Lin Rui's order, everyone rushed towards the source of the sound at full speed. At this moment, Jade-faced Rakshasa was lying on the ground with wounds all over his body. Blood Taoists appeared on his body. Pa. A loud and clear sound was heard. Dan Shenzi waved the whip in his hand and directly hit Jade-faced Rakshasa's body. Suddenly, another Blood Taoist appeared with blood flowing out. Speak. You've also felt the pain. If you don't speak, then the pain will continue. Your life is very long, and so are the few of us. This pain will accompany you until you hand over the item. Only then will we stop. However, the moment Dan Shenzi hit Jade-faced Rakshasa with his whip, Lin Rui and the others had already arrived in the sky. The scene of Jade-faced Rakshasa being beaten was seen by Lin Rui and the others. Bastard. At this moment, Jia Yang, who was standing beside Lin Rui, saw the Jade-faced Rakshasa who used to travel with them being humiliated like this. His innate sense of justice instantly erupted. All of you, stop. Do you all want to die? Lin Rui didn't expect Jia Yang to act like this. At this moment, everyone was stunned by Jia Yang's roar. At this moment, the few old ancestors who were interrogating Jade-faced Rakshasa heard this roar and immediately stopped their actions. They looked up at the sky and were stunned when they saw Lin Rui in the sky. Sigh. Looking at them and then at Jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Rei sighed and took a step forward. In an instant, he appeared beside the old ancestors. Looking at these old men, then turning his head to look at the battered jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Li sighed and said, "Gentlemen, how about giving me some face? For my sake, let her go." Ha ha ha. When the patriarchs heard Lin Li's words, they were first stunned. Then, they burst into laughter. Face? Who do you think you are? Dao ancestor? Tendo? Or great Dao? Why should we give you face? You're just an early hierarch little thing. How dare you speak such nonsense in front of us? At this moment, one of the 4 old ancestors spoke. Are you all courting death? At this moment, Lin Rei wasn't angry. Instead, it was the human corpse that was furious. Although he had just followed Lin Rei, he would never allow the people he followed to be humiliated like this. Boom! A muffled sound was instantly heard. An enormous oppressive aura instantly enveloped the 4 old ancestors. Corpse. At this moment, when they felt this enormous oppressive might, the 4 old men who had smiles on their faces immediately revealed ugly expressions. They all knew about corpses. There was a rumor in the ancient corpse trove that stated that it was better to provoke humans than the corpse race. This was because the entire ancient corpse trove was ruled by the corpse race. Humph, old fart. My young master asked you to let this girl go. Didn't you hear him? The human corpse didn't care about the 4 old ancestors. Although he was only a mid-hierarch and had just broken through, he didn't think he was weaker than the 4 old ancestors. You. At this moment, Dan Yangzi was stunned when he heard the human corpse's words. He retorted with an ugly expression, "What right do you have? Although this is the ancient corpse vault, you should know that we're the ones who caught her." Asterisk whoosh, asterisk bang. A muffled sound was heard. Dan Shinzi, who was speaking earlier, was sent flying far away. His ruddy face turned ashen as he spat out blood. Hiss. This. Dan Shinzi's current appearance had completely shocked the other 3 old ancestors. Heh. At this moment, Lin Rei liked the human corpse more and more when he saw how decisive the human corpse was. Alright, I'll leave this place to you. It's up to you whether you want to kill them or leave them alive. Lin Rei didn't care about the 4 old men at all. He ordered the human corpse and slowly walked towards the jade-faced Rakshasa without saying anything else. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa who was lying on the ground was shocked. She was stunned on the spot and her eyes were filled with shock. Lin Rei, who came to her side, looked at her and suddenly smiled. He then woke her up. Are you alright? Are you alright? Can you walk? Ugh. This kid. At this moment, the Pai Xiao who followed behind Lin Rei showed a helpless expression when he heard Lin Rei's words. However, on second thought, Lin Rei was right. There were several beauties at home. How could Lin Rei be interested in someone like her? Moreover, they weren't familiar with each other. Pai Xiao felt relieved when he thought about it. Chapter 782. I'm fine. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa came back to her senses and looked at Lin Rei with gratitude in her eyes. She didn't know what else to say at this moment. The jade-faced Rakshasa was very grateful that this person, whom she had met by chance and couldn't be considered a friend, could save her at her most dangerous moment. It's good that you're fine. Looking at the wounds on her body, Lin Rei took out a healing pill from his storage ring and gave it to her. He said, "Eat it. After eating it, find a quiet place and wait for 30 years to come. After that, leave this place. For the rest of the time, you can raise your cultivation level and consolidate it. Or, you can practice your battle techniques and magic arts to improve your battle techniques to the profound meaning. Then, you won't be so embarrassed when you encounter such problems in the future." Yes. Thank you. The jade-faced Rakshasa nodded and frowned. At this moment, she didn't have the right or the capital to be pretentious because she couldn't afford to be pretentious. She reached out and took the pill from Lin Rei. Then, without any hesitation, she spat it into her mouth. The pill melted as soon as it entered her mouth, leaving a fragrance in her mouth and teeth. The moment a terrifying medicinal effect entered her stomach, it instantly exploded and rushed to her limbs and bones. At this moment, all the injuries on the jade-faced Rakshasa's body began to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye under Lin Rei's pill. One had to know that Lin Rei's pills were all made with the illusory spirit blood fire. In addition, Lin Rei himself was a perfected supreme alchemist, so it wasn't strange for him to have such a medicinal effect. However, in the entire immortal realm, there was no other alchemist who could have such a huge medicinal effect except for Lin Rei. After all, Lin Rei, who had the illusory spirit blood fire, was much stronger than a perfected supreme alchemist who didn't have a strange fire. At this moment, when she felt that Lin Rei's pill was so effective and that her injuries were recovering quickly, the jade-faced Rakshasa became excited. According to the current speed of recovery, it wouldn't take long for the injuries on her hands, the previous injuries on her body, and the hidden injuries that weren't cured in the end to be completely healed. Feeling this, the jade-faced Rakshasa felt even more grateful to Lin Rei. As for the jade-faced Rakshasa's thoughts, Lin Rei didn't know and he didn't want to know. The jade-faced Rakshasa, the jade-faced Rakshasa, the jade-faced Rakshasas, and Rakshasas. S Rakshasas Rakshasa, Rakshasa, S TSSSSSS asterisk asterisk asterisk, S asterisk S asterisk B asterisk its, S's asterisk, SSSA's S, to S's, SSSS. T S's B, S Rakshasa, S the Rakshasa, S des to the zest T speak. T's, T. Looking at them, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment before he came back to his senses. He went to the human corpse and asked, "So, what do you plan to do with these people?" Well. The human corpse was thinking about how to teach the four old men a lesson when he heard Lin Rei's words. He was stunned for a moment before he turned around to look at Shindan with hesitation. To be honest, he didn't know how to deal with these old fellows. In the past, these old fellows would take their things and let them cripple their cultivation. Then, he threw him into the horde of corpses and watched the corpses grow bigger and bigger. Godly exalts without cultivation used to enjoy fighting corpses, but now that he was with Linley, he felt that it was a bit inappropriate. Just as Lin Rei and the human corpses' power of silence, one of the corpses turned around and whispered to his companion, "You, take advantage of the chaos and leave. Let's meet the second heaven. Tell the earth corpse what happened here and let him make a decision. Especially tell him that the human corpse has defected to the human and is now leading the human to the second heaven. Let him give the order. Remember, what I told you just now, and what you saw before, you must tell me everything. Don't add any details. Do you understand?" Upon hearing that, the other corpse nodded solemnly and replied, "Don't worry, big brother. How can such a small thing trouble me? Moreover, I'm not the kind of person to stir up trouble and exaggerate things. Don't worry, I'll definitely do what you asked of me." That's good. The other corpse nodded with a smile after hearing the other's assurance. However, what they didn't know was that while they were whispering, Linley had heard everything, including the matter of telling the earth corpses about his arrival and causing the human corpses to betray them. Regarding this, Linley only revealed a faint smile and didn't make any moves to stop them because he felt that there was no need. After all, if he went, the earth corpses would see him sooner or later. Letting them go and report now would save them the trouble of introducing themselves when the time came. Perhaps the earth corpse would take the initiative to pledge allegiance to him after hearing his introduction. Of course, Lin Rei knew that this idea might be a little whimsical, but it was not a crime and would not kill anyone. They did not have a chance, and Lin Rei even gave them a chance. Looking at the human corpse's dilemma, Lin Rei said, "All right, don't think about it. Just do as you wish. Don't worry about me, they have nothing to do with me." There was an old saying that in the cultivation world, the strong were respected, the weak were prey to the strong, and the fittest survived. These were the rules of the great Tao. We can't go against it, and it's not fun to go against it. As long as your fist is hard, you're right. Moreover, they've entered your territory, so you can do whatever you want. I don't care. With that, Lin Rei retreated to the side and waited quietly. He came here to relax and rest. It was good that this matter was over, so he could rush to the second layer of heaven in one go. Alright, since you've said so, I'll do as you say. Seeing Lin Rei's words, the human corpse was no longer restrained. He rolled up his sleeves and looked like he was ready to do something. It was very funny. Looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei smiled and did not say anything. He found a quiet place, sat down cross-legged, and closed his eyes to rest. At this moment, as Lin Rei closed his eyes to rest and recover the energy in his body, Jiayang, Pai Xiao, and the chubby, cute, and timid Ba Bao Bao all followed Lin Rei and entered the recovery state. Now, hurry up and leave. At this moment, a voice suddenly appeared. When the human corpse that received the order heard it, his body trembled. He no longer hesitated and immediately hid his aura, used his cultivation, and disappeared from the spot. This series of actions, other than Lin Rei, no one else noticed it. Because Lin Rei and the others entered the recovery state, the human corpse's gaze locked onto the four old men. As for the others, they all entered the recovery state, so, heh. Sensing that they were already far away, Lin Rei's mouth revealed a trace of a strange smile. No one noticed it. You, what are you doing? Said Dan Shenzi in a trembling voice. Because he had been sent flying by the human corpse, his body felt as if it were about to fall apart. His entire body was in pain, and he was old. If it weren't for the fact that he was strong, the human corpse's punch just now would have killed him. The four of them had clearly heard the conversation between Lin Rei and the human corpse. Therefore, at this moment, they were afraid, panicked, and regretful. They regretted that when Lin Rei had said that he would give him face, they had frowned and said yes. If only they had said yes at that time. Unfortunately, there was no medicine for regret in this world. You will reap what you sow, those who kill will be killed by others. Those who humiliate will be humiliated by others. As the saying goes, Tendo is ready for reincarnation. In the end, everything will happen to you. Tisk, well, you'll find out soon enough. Don't worry, one by one. I guarantee that you'll never forget it. Hearing Dan Shenzi's words, the human corpse smiled cruelly. He stretched out his hand, and a cold aura appeared. Asterisk whoosh, asterisk in the next moment, Dan Shenzi, who had been sent flying, became the first target again. The evil Yin energy released by the human corpse rushed to his side and wrapped around him. Then, it lifted him into the air and walked to the side. When the remaining three saw this scene, they were stunned. Although they were afraid, they couldn't help but want to turn around to check it out. Unfortunately, the moment the human corpse left, the remaining 10 supreme gods worked together to deal with a barrier that could only be seen from the outside, but they couldn't see the outside. The three of them were stunned and immediately gave up. Their bodies went limp, and they sat on the ground. Their bodies and minds were filled with a sense of powerlessness. They regretted. They regretted hearing the rumors about the Corpse King pill and coming out of seclusion. They regretted everything they had done before. Suddenly, a scream was heard. It reached the ears of the three old men. They were very familiar with the scream. Wasn't it Dan Shenzi, who had just separated from them? The scream continued. Dan Shenzi's voice was filled with regret, unwillingness, and pain. The scream completely destroyed the last line of defense in the hearts of the remaining three old men. They wanted to struggle, escape, and resist, but the ones guarding outside were not emperor gods, but more than a dozen ultimate god realm experts. Moreover, judging from their knowledge, those experts were at least mid or late ultimate gods. With such a large group, it would be a problem to break through the barrier surrounding them, let alone escape. At that moment, outside the barrier, the human corpse's hand was dripping with blood. If one took a closer look, one could even see the blood flowing down the human corpse's arm. In front of the human corpse, there was no longer an empty space. A group of corpses had appeared out of nowhere. There were more than 20 of them, and each corpse had a piece of flesh in its hand. Hurry up and eat. This is the flesh of a late ultimate god expert. His flesh is very precious. It's like a supreme treasure. After eating these 3, you should be able to develop spiritual intelligence. Then, I'll have a few more capable subordinates in the ancient corpse vault. Looking at the corpses in front of him, the human corpse showed a hint of anticipation. At that moment, Dan Shenzi, who was brought out by the human corpse, was lying on the ground with despair in his eyes. There was a huge hole in his chest, and his internal organs were exposed. It was a very bloody scene. Dan Shenzi's body was trembling violently from the pain. His face was filled with despair. Dan Shenzi's screams had stopped because of the pain. It wasn't that he didn't want to, it was because he no longer had the strength. He was in so much pain that he had no strength left. His enormous vitality was quickly draining away from him under the human corpse's torture. Time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, half an hour had passed. Finally, Dan Shenzi's entire body was decomposed into the human corpse's stomach. The human corpse did not let the previous night's events end. Following that, it grabbed another person and used the same method to feed the human corpse. In the end, the human corpse completely devoured the human corpse. However, before killing them, the human corpse had already crippled their cultivation. If he didn't do this, he was afraid that these human cultivators wouldn't be able to withstand the pain and would self-destruct, dying together with the human corpse. One by one, in just 2 to 3 hours, 4 highly respected experts of the god realm, who were almost at the peak of existence, were devoured by the human corpse for their own disciples and grand disciples. If this matter were to spread to the god realm, it would probably cause a storm of blood. One had to know that the reason why the 7 sects were able to stand tall was because behind the sects, there was a group of old geezers supporting them. Therefore, if news of this spread, the god realm would probably be plunged into a great war. Finally, after watching the 20 corpses eat the 4 old men, the human corpse waved his hand and dismissed them. After doing all this, he slowly walked over to Linley's side. He stretched out his hand and handed the 4 old men's bags of holding to him. He said, "They've been dealt with. Here are their bags of holding." At this moment, Lin Rei, who had been meditating with his eyes closed the entire time, heard the human corpse's voice and immediately stopped cultivating. He opened his eyes. Looking at the 4 storage pouches and 4 simple and unadorned rings in front of him, Lin Rei smiled. He nodded and said, "All right, it's time for us to set out." As soon as these words came out, it was unknown whether or not everyone was awake, but as soon as Linley said the word, "set off," everyone who had their eyes closed and had been in the midst of training suddenly woke up. They all stood up and began to wait. This scene stunned Lin Rei, but he didn't say anything. He just smiled and let it go. Chapter 783. Let's go. After saying that, Lin Rei got up and ignored the jade-faced Rakshasa. Instead, he led Jia Yang and the others and prepared to leave. They were heading towards the second layer of heaven again. However, right when Lin Rei turned around, the jade-faced Rakshasa who was still recovering from her injuries woke up. She got up and walked to Lin Rei's side. She thanked him, "Fellow Taoist Lin Rei, thank you for saving my life and giving me the medicine." "You don't have to thank me. You don't have to thank me. I've said it before. The reason why I found you is purely a coincidence. That's all. Besides, we're going to leave now. If you don't want to encounter the same thing again, I advise you to leave Urji as soon as possible. Just like what I said before, find a place with no one around and cultivate quietly. Consolidate your cultivation and increase your realm. After 30 years, leave this place directly." Lin Rei felt very helpless after hearing the gratitude from the jade-faced Rakshasa. Just like what Lin Ray said earlier, it was really just a coincidence that he found her. Furthermore, if it wasn't for Jiayang insisting on coming, Lin Ray likely wouldn't have come either. He wouldn't have saved her either. Thus, in this entire matter, there was really no need to thank him. However, although Lin Ray thought that way, the jade-faced Rakshasa refused to admit it. But jade-faced Rakshasa refused to back down. Although Linli had explained everything clearly, jade-faced Rakshasa still felt extremely grateful towards Linli. After all, he had intervened to save her, and had even given her the pill. "Emin, I understand," the jade-faced Rakshasa nodded. Immediately after, she extended her right hand and aimed her palm at Lin Ray. She chanted an incantation and formed a seal with her left hand. A dazzling golden radiance instantly appeared and illuminated the 9 heavens. Strangely, the instant the golden radiance appeared, the uncomfortable feeling that was originally pervading the air within a circumference of 1,000 miles, other than humans and corpses, instantly disappeared the instant the golden radiance appeared. As for the dense air within a circumference of 1,000 miles, it also completely disappeared at this moment. It was as if it had never appeared in the first place. It was very puzzling. Emin? Sensing the change in their frowns and the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand, everyone frowned. Confusion appeared on their faces. They did not understand what the golden light was. It actually possessed such a mysterious power. No one noticed that the moment the golden light appeared, the human corpse instinctively took a step back. Fear appeared on his face, and his eyes were filled with vigilance as he looked at the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand. His heart palpitated as if that thing was fatal to him. This is... At this moment, Lin Ray came back to his senses and asked curiously as he looked at the golden object. The moment Lin Ray spoke, everyone, including the human corpse and the others, looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa. Their eyes were filled with doubt and curiosity. They also wanted to know what this thing was and why it was so powerful. Sensing everyone's puzzled gazes, the jade-faced Rakshasa revealed a hint of a mysterious smile. Turning his head to look at Linli, he asked, "Fellow Taoist Linli, do you still remember why I came here in the first place?" Lin Ray was puzzled by the jade-faced Rakshasa's question, but he still replied, "I remember that you said you found a natural treasure hidden here, so I came to look for it." Hiss. Could it be? Lin Ray looked at the golden light in the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand and said in disbelief, "Could it be that? That's right. This is the natural treasure." The jade-faced Rakshasa chuckled when he heard that Lin Ray still remembered what he said back then. He continued, "Tisk, I didn't expect that after so many years, you would still remember what I said back then." Lin Ray blushed with shame at the words of the jade-faced Rakshasa. The reason why he remembered the words of the jade-faced Rakshasa was that Lin Ray had never given up on finding this natural treasure, so, of course, he couldn't say these words out loud, but Lin Ray's expression was indeed very rich. Looking at the jade-faced Rakshasa, Lin Ray smiled awkwardly but elegantly. There, Lin Ray replied. The Pai Xiu looked at Lin Ray with disdain. Others might not know, but he knew Lin Ray's character very well. Back then, because he knew that his blood essence was useful, he shamelessly asked for a drop every once in a while. It was also because of this that the Pai Xiu's realm was only close to the godly venerable realm after so many years. If Lin Ray didn't ask for blood essence, he would probably be at the same level as Xia Feng now. Thinking of this, the Pai Xiu felt ashamed and angry. Blood essence was very important to humans, deities, demons, devils, and so on. Ordinary people wouldn't give up their blood essence. Air. At this moment, Lin Ray, who looked calm, felt the same gaze from the side and immediately turned to look at the Pai Xiu. After a while, the two of them looked at each other and suddenly there was a burst of lightning, crackling and rattling. Lin Ray just happened to understand the meaning of the Pai Xiu's gaze. Suddenly, an awkward expression appeared on his face. The scene was quiet for a while, so quiet that everyone was a little uncomfortable. This is that treasure, and you saw it just now. The reason why I was mentioned by them was because of this thing, so. At this moment, the jade-faced Rakshasa felt the atmosphere was oppressive and quickly opened his mouth to break the deadlock. So, I want to give this thing to you as a gift to repay you for saving my life. As he spoke, the jade-faced Rakshasa reluctantly stretched out his hand and dragged the congenital magic treasure to Lin Rei. You. At this moment, happiness came so suddenly that Lin Rei didn't react and was stunned on the spot. His face was full of disbelief and disbelief. He really couldn't believe that a person could give away a congenital magic treasure directly. Alas! Looking at Lin Rei's expression, the jade-faced Rakshasa naturally knew what was going on, so he quickly said, "You see, I don't have this ability. Even if I do, it will bring me a fatal disaster in the end. Even so, it's better to give this disaster to you. In this way, I believe that no one will, and no one will dare to have any ideas about you." At this moment, Lin Rei finally understood why the jade-faced Rakshasa gave this thing to him. It turned out that he didn't have the ability to protect it, so he wanted to get rid of it quickly. Thinking of this, Lin Li felt a lot more at ease. However, even though his heart was at ease, he still had a look of embarrassment on his face as he said, "How can I do that?" However, at this moment, everyone looked at Lin Rei speechlessly. Even the Pishio directly turned his face away, not wanting to look at Lin Rei. He wanted to let people know that Lin Rei was on his side. At this moment, although Lin Rei said that he was embarrassed, he stretched out his hand and took the congenital magic treasure from the jade-faced Rakshasa's hand. At this moment, everyone was speechless. Heh. At this moment, Lin Rei didn't care about their gazes at all. At this moment, Lin Rei's mind was on the congenital magic treasure. At this moment, after Lin Rei took the congenital magic treasure in his hand, the golden light on it naturally dissipated. At this moment, a string of simple and unadorned beads was exposed on the surface. The beads were smooth and delicate. Each bead was white, as if they were made of bones. When touched, a cool feeling spread from the beads to the palm, then from the palm to the arm and the rest of the body. Hiss, this thing. Sensing this difference, a hint of a smile appeared on Linley's face. From the moment he had touched it until now, Linley was basically certain that this thing was extraordinary. Oh, a middle-grade congenital spiritual treasure? At this moment, just when he thought that this string of beads was extraordinary, the system suddenly spoke with a hint of surprise. However, the system's words puzzled Lin Rei. He knew about congenital cardinal treasures, but he had never heard of congenital spiritual treasures. Without anyone noticing at all, Linley sent a strand of his divine will into the system. Raising his head to stare at the sky, he asked the system, "Hey, what did you just say about protocosmic spirit treasures? Protocosmic spirit treasures and protocosmic spirit treasures, which one is stronger?" In the outside world, all eyes were still fixed on the beads with expressions of admiration. Therefore, in the eyes of the crowd, Lin Rei was immersed in the power of the magic treasure. In the system, after hearing Lin Rei's question, a sigh suddenly appeared. It said helplessly, "Little guy, can you find time to go to the library and fill in the blanks? You still have to ask me about such basic knowledge. If others know about this, don't you think I'll lose face?" Hearing the system's words, Lin Rei scratched his head in embarrassment and said with a silly smile, "Oh, that. I'll find time to take a look. You should tell me the difference between the two first." Hearing this, the system was also helpless. In the end, it listened to Lin Rei and said, "Since the primitive age, magic treasures have been divided into congenital cardinal treasures, congenital spiritual treasures, acquired cardinal treasures, and acquired spiritual treasures. However, the difference between them is like the difference between you and a divine emperor and I'm a saint. The difference between them is completely different. Just like when Pangu created the world, he left behind the sky-splitting axe, the Pangu sail, and the jade plate of fate. These three treasures were already Taoist instruments. However, because they became Pangu's half-living spiritual treasures in the end, their realms were reduced." At this point, after reading Lin Rei's half-understood expression, the system sighed softly and felt even more powerless. Alas, you won't understand even if I tell you all this. You only need to know that there are still treasures above congenital cardinal treasures. However, they are beyond the level of your knowledge. Therefore, you only need to know that congenital cardinal treasures are very powerful, so powerful that you can't believe it. As for primordial cardinal treasures and primordial spiritual treasures, they were born from the primordial age. Therefore, if one is destroyed, there will be one less. Treasure this thing in your hand. It's very impressive. It's a mid-stage primordial spiritual treasure and a dharma treasure that carries merit. Hiss. Really? At this moment, Lin Ray understood. When he was on the aqua blue planet, Lin Ray had read a novel. It was a great advantage to have a magic treasure of merit. If it was in the primitive age, having a magic treasure of merit would be a token to kill without mercy. Even if you killed someone, you wouldn't have any negative karma on you. As the saying went, Tendo is good for reincarnation. Karma comes with karma. If there was a magic treasure of merit, even if you killed someone, no karma would fall on the person who had the magic treasure of merit. As the saying went, there was a cause first, and then there was an effect. If there was no cause, what effect would there be? Therefore, when he heard that the bead in his hands was a magic treasure of merit, Lin Ray couldn't help but become excited. Of course, the system knew what Lin Ray was thinking. It didn't say anything, but it still reminded him, remember, when you go to the holy world, you must give me 10,000 years to read the books in the Sutras depository for me. This task is the task I gave you. Do you understand? Understood. Hearing the system's tough tone, Lin Ray was stunned, but then he nodded and agreed. Seeing Lin Ray agree, the system said, since you know, then go out. Remember, take this magic treasure with you at all times. Don't let it leave your body. Of course, at least until all the negative karma on your body is resolved. However, the moment he heard the system's words, Lin Ray felt that he had already left the system space and returned to his body. Alas. After returning to his body, Lin Ray sighed. He hadn't even heard of some of the things that the system had told him. However, the system couldn't explain them all. This was one of Lin Ray's biggest regrets. As such, when he thought about how he would have 10,000 years to understand the Sutras depository after entering the holy world, Lin Ray couldn't help but want to hurry up and cultivate so that he could enter the holy world. Thinking of this, Lin Ray suppressed his excitement and came back to his senses. He thanked the jade-faced Rakshasa with a smile. Thank you, I'll accept this. With that, Lin Ray put the bead on his wrist and prepared to leave. Can I go with you? Suddenly, the jade-faced Rakshasa's voice sounded. In response, Lin Ray chuckled. It seemed that this was the purpose of the jade-faced Rakshasa. Of course, even though he already knew her purpose, Lin Ray still agreed. After all, she had given him such a good thing. Turning around, Lin Ray looked at the jade-faced Rakshasa and chuckled. Then, he nodded and agreed, all right, since that's the case, follow me. Whoosh, in an instant, everyone soared into the sky. This time, they used their fastest speed to head to the second layer of heaven. Just like that, Lin Ray and the others set off again. At this moment, in front of the corpse of heaven and earth, a middle-aged man knelt on the ground and hurriedly replied to the earth corpse, Second Master, Third Master seems to have betrayed us? What? The earth corpse, who originally had a smile on his face, changed the moment he heard this. He looked coldly at the subordinate on the ground and said, you have to think carefully about what you just said. How could my third brother betray us? Do you know the consequences of your words? The earth corpse couldn't understand the betrayal of the human corpse, let alone think in that direction. Chapter 784. The person kneeling on the ground was one of the dozen or so ultimate gods who had separated from Linley's team. After traveling day and night, he finally arrived at his own camp, the second heaven, at noon. After returning, he hurriedly went to the second heaven lord's place and reported what he saw. But now, he had said that the earth corpses were like that. That said, it was normal. After all, the masters of the first, second, third skyrocket were all brothers. Furthermore, they had spent countless years together. Thus, the trust between them was extremely strong. However, when he thought of Lin Rei's strength and the strength of his camp, he could not help but speak again. Master, Kuan Su will never lie to you. Third Master has already joined a human called Lin Rei. Moreover, Third Master has broken through to mid-stage ultimate god not long ago. What? Third brother. Third brother has broken through? At this moment, Earth Corpse was shocked. His eyes were filled with disbelief because he knew how powerful the lightning tribulation was when he broke through to the mid-ultimate god realm. If he hadn't found a powerful magic weapon to protect himself, he would have died in the first lightning tribulation. How could Earth Corpse not be shocked when he heard that his master had broken through to the ultimate god realm? Yes, yes. When we arrived, Third Master had already broken through. However, it was not Third Master's lightning tribulation but that human called Lin Rei. Kuan Su's words were shocking. Hiss, at this moment, the Earth Corpse looked at Kuan Su's serious and solemn face in disbelief. He believed it. He believed that his third brother had broken through to the ultimate god realm and also believed in Lin Rei's existence. However, Earth Corpse still did not believe in betrayal. After all, they had been together for millions of years. He did not believe that his third brother would do such a foolish thing and not tell him and his big brother. Master, alright, that's enough. Kuan Su looked at the Earth Corpse's expression and wanted to say something, but was stopped by the Earth Corpse. Looking at Kuan Su, the Earth Corpse threatened, let's end this matter here. I believe third brother won't betray me and big brother. Moreover, although third brother likes to cause trouble, he knows the severity of the matter. So, don't speak of this matter in the future. Moreover, didn't you say that third brother is rushing here? When he arrives, I will personally ask him why. As he spoke, the Earth Corpse pinched his forehead and waved at Kuan Su with a worried expression. You've been out for decades. It's been hard on you. You can leave now. Hearing this, he knew what his master meant. He sighed and bowed. Since that is the case, Master, this subordinate will take his leave first. Okay, go. Remember, today's matter is only between the two of us, understood? Hearing this, Kuan Su naturally understood the meaning and nodded repeatedly. Understood. Master, don't worry. Today's matter is only between the two of us. No one else will know. Alright, go ahead. At this moment, Kuan Su didn't say anything and calmly left the Earth Corpse's room. Sigh. At this moment, the moment Kuan Su left the room and closed the door, the Earth Corpse turned around and looked at the door with a deep gaze. He sighed slightly and revealed a worried expression. Third brother, what are you thinking? Don't you hate humans the most? Why did you bring a human here? He didn't understand. He believed most of what Kuan Su said before. The Earth Corpse believed the part about Lin Rei. As for the rest, the Earth Corpse didn't believe it. At this moment, not far away from the second heaven, the third corpse that the Earth Corpse spoke of was rushing towards the second heaven with a worried look on his face. Following behind the Earth Corpse was Lin Rei and the others. At this moment, it had been 8 to 9 days since they rescued the jade-faced Rakshasa. During this period, Lin Rei and the others didn't have any gaps in their journey. Along the way, no one dared to listen. This was also thanks to their strong cultivation. Otherwise, they wouldn't have lasted until now. Alright, when we reach the second heaven, don't make a move first. After all, that's my second brother's territory. I don't want to ruin the millions of years of friendship between us. At this moment, the Earth Corpse who was leading the way suddenly stopped and looked at Lin Rei with a pleading expression. Don't worry about this. Lin Rei agreed with the Earth Corpse's words. Moreover, he didn't plan to make a move. After all, the Earth Corpse was now his subordinate. In addition, he could help them leave this place. Just based on these 2 points, Lin Rei was confident that he could pull the master of the second heaven, the Earth Corpse, into his camp and become his subordinate. Therefore, Lin Rei agreed to the Earth Corpse's request without hesitation. Thank you. Seeing Lin Rei agree, the Earth Corpse smiled and nodded. The worry in his heart was relieved at this moment. Who are you? Suddenly, a few shouts were heard. The sound was so loud that it hurt Lin Rei's eardrums. At this moment, everyone looked in the direction of the sound. Looking over, they saw 4 or 5 Earth Corpses holding weapons in their hands. They were terrified and anxious. They were looking at Chindan like door gods, ready to fight at any moment. At this moment, the human corpse's face darkened when he heard the shout. Without waiting for Linley to speak, he took a step forward and shouted at them, "Are you all blind? Don't you recognize me? You're the third master." At this moment, the 4 or 5 Earth Corpses saw the Earth Corpse that stepped out. Their expressions changed and a trace of pain appeared on their faces. They quickly apologized, sorry, we. At this moment, the 4 or 5 Earth Corpses seemed to be especially afraid of the Earth Corpse. The moment they saw that the person who shouted was the Earth Corpse, their bodies began to tremble unnaturally. Naturally, Linley saw this strange phenomenon. At this moment, Linley was not only curious about the human corpses, but he was also curious about the reason why they were so afraid. Since you know it's me, why aren't you making way? Let us pass. Looking at them, the Earth Corpse rolled his eyes at them and made way. In the end, he retreated behind Lin Rei. Hiss. This. When that scene landed in the eyes of the 4 or 5 corpses, it could simply be said to be horrifying. At this moment, they thought that their eyes were bad and they were seeing things. They immediately rubbed their eyes, but the result told them that they were not seeing things. This scene was real. Lin Rei did not say anything about the Earth Corpse's actions. He smiled and stepped forward, flying towards the second layer of heaven. Along the way, Lin Rei and the rest encountered many Earth Corpses. However, when the Earth Corpses saw the Earth Corpse following behind Lin Rei, they all distanced themselves. It could even be said that they fled. Although Lin Rei was puzzled, he did not ask. This was because he was at the second layer of heaven. After flying for a short distance, a Earth Corpse that Lin Rei was familiar with walked up to them. He bowed to the Earth Corpse and said, "Third Master, Second Director said that you can go in directly to find him." This Earth Corpse was not the same Earth Corpse. The one who spoke was Kuan Su. The Earth Corpse did not even look at Kuan Su. He nodded and led Lin Rei towards a magnificent palace. The Xianhong Palace was where the Earth Corpses lived. At the same time, it was also the Earth Corpse training hall. Everyone was forbidden to enter this place. Of course, the Earth Corpse was an exception. When they arrived in front of the palace, Lin Rei stopped and looked up at the huge palace. He could not help but exclaim, "Tsk tisk, it's so magnificent. It's comparable to the main palace of my Xuanzong sect." However, although it's magnificent, it lacks Taoist connotation. Although it's huge, it's not a first-rate Dharma artifact. You're right. This palace of mine is only built from the body of a mountain. Suddenly, a voice was heard. Hearing this sudden voice, Linley was startled. A look of embarrassment appeared on his face as he laughed. There was originally no one at the entrance. However, not long after the voice was heard, a young man in a gorgeous brocade robe appeared at the entrance of the main palace. He had his hands behind his back. This person is not simple. At this moment, looking at the young man, Lin Rei's first thought was that this person was not simple. Just by looking at his aura, he could tell that he was a leader. Appearing in the main hall with such an attitude, and with such an extraordinary aura, Linley didn't need to think too much to know that this was the master of the second layer of heaven, the Earth Corpse. Thinking about it, Chindan cupped his hands and said, "I'm Lin Ray. I didn't know the etiquette when I came out of your precious land. I hope the master of the second heaven will forgive me." The master of the second heaven? Isn't that the Earth Corpse? At this moment, Jianghu, who was following beside Lin Ray, was shocked when he heard Lin Ray's words. His eyes widened as he looked at the young man standing at the entrance of the main palace in shock. Second brother. Without waiting for Jianghu, the human corpse's voice was heard from behind. The human corpse walked out of the group and towards the Earth Corpse. Sigh. Lil San, you really don't make people feel at ease. You said you were going to make a breakthrough, but you didn't say anything. Don't you know how strong the intermediate ultimate God's tribulation is? Immediately, the Earth Corpse looked at the human corpse, who walked out with a helpless and reproachful face. Big Brother said to tell you when you're going to make a breakthrough to the intermediate ultimate God realm. Look at you, if Big Brother knew about this, you, Looking at his second brother, the human corpse nodded his head in embarrassment. Okay. Second brother is right. It's my fault. It's my fault. But you don't know, at that time, it was too dangerous. The sign of a breakthrough came too quickly. I'm worried that if I missed that chance, I don't know how long it would take for me to encounter such a good opportunity again, so. The human corpse shrugged his shoulders and stopped talking. He lowered his head as if he was admitting his fault. At this moment, seeing the human corpse like this, Lin Ray and the others who were familiar with the human corpse were stunned. Their faces showed a strange expression. Damn, is this still the arrogant and despotic human corpse from before? This thought appeared in everyone's mind. Okay, I'll let you off this time. I've told Big Brother about this. The Earth Corpse looked at his third brother and said dotingly. Then, his gaze fell on Lin Ray again. Looking at Lin Ray and the others, the Earth Corpse gestured for them to enter and said, "You're our guests. Cultivation base, please come in." Okay. Then I'll accept your invitation. Lin Ray did not refuse the Earth Corpse's invitation. He nodded to the group behind him and strode into the main hall. The main hall was very simple. There was basically nothing in it. Other than tables and chairs, there was only a futon left. Walking into the main hall, Lin Ray instinctively pulled out a futon upon seeing such a loot. Not only Lin Ray, but even Pai Xiu and the others were the same. Pai Xiu knew how magnificent the Xuanzong Sect's palace was. Although it could not be compared to the Untainted Era, it was still one of the best. Compared to this place, it was like the difference between heaven and earth. They were simply not on the same level. Of course, he couldn't say such words out loud. At this moment, Linley looked at such a concise place, and hurriedly praised the Earth Corpse. As expected, the master of the second layer of heaven really views money as dirt. You have a vision that transcends the secular world. At this moment, after hearing Lin Ray's words, the Earth Corpse staggered and almost fell down. Then, he said with a red face, "You're overpraising me. It's not that I've transcended the secular world. It's just that there's nothing else in this ancient corpse trove. These things were taken from those outsiders." Lin Ray was speechless. He did not say anything and went to a seat and sat down. As for the human corpse, he did not stop and pulled the Earth Corpse into a room. In this regard, Lin Ray did not stop him because he knew why the human corpse was doing this. In the room, the Earth Corpse calmly looked at his third brother and said, "Speak, what's going on? Don't you hate humans the most?" "Why would you?" The Earth Corpse did not finish his words. Instead, he turned his head and looked at Lin Ray outside. Knowing his second brother's meaning, the human corpse smiled and explained, "Second brother, although I hate others, this Lin Ray, I really admire him. Moreover, he didn't kill me before. He risked his life to help me withstand the fatal lightning tribulation. Moreover, at this point, the human corpse suddenly became serious. The earth corpse was stunned and couldn't help but become serious as well. Moreover, Lin Rei was able to bring us out of this sealed space. He can let us, a race that can only live in darkness, return to the God realm. Return to the God realm where we were worried about, where we were heartbroken, and where we were able to laugh and talk. Tell me, if you were in my shoes, what would you choose? He is your savior, and he can let you out of this place and return to the God realm. Tell me, if you were me, what would you choose? At this moment, the human corpse's words pierced the heart. Every word was sonorous and powerful. Every word carried a huge temptation to the corpse race. Chapter 785. At this moment, the earth corpse wanted to refute. However, the moment the word left his mouth, he felt as if a hand was strangling his throat, preventing him from speaking. The human corpse's words were very tempting. He also believed that even if the Sky Corpse, their big brother and the owner of the ancient corpse vault, was here, he would not hesitate to agree to Linley's conditions if he heard that he could escape from this cage that was like a trapped beast. At this moment, the earth corpse was silent. He didn't know what to say, but he was also a little worried. Although Lin Rei said that he could bring physical strength and the others away, he hadn't really done it yet. At most, it was just a verbal promise. Seeing the worry in his second brother's eyes, the human corpse wasn't stupid. He knew what his second brother was worried about, so he didn't force him. Second brother, I've already said this. Really, I believe in Lin Rei. He was able to help me pass through the lightning tribulation by himself. Moreover, he was able to break through during the lightning tribulation. I believe that with your strength, I've already agreed to join Lin Rei's sect, so. I'm sorry, second brother. In the future, I can't listen to your teachings anymore. Seeing the earth corpse hesitating, the human corpse was slightly disappointed. He didn't say anything else and looked at the people outside. As for the conversation between the human corpse and the earth corpse, he believed that everyone present could hear it. He also believed that the earth corpse knew that he could hear it. Seeing the human corpse walk out of the room with a disappointed expression, Lin Rei smiled and said to him, "Don't be so disappointed. Everyone has their own ambitions. Since he doesn't want to believe me, I won't force him. After all, I won't lose anything." Jiya. As Lin Rei spoke, the earth corpse walked out of the room. He happened to hear Lin Rei's words and was stunned. However, he quickly regained his senses. Seeing Lin Rei's reaction, the human corpse sighed and didn't say anything else. He then sat down beside Lin Rei and didn't say anything else. However, because of what happened just now, the human corpse was a little depressed. The human corpse was just a little depressed. Lin Rei naturally saw the earth corpse's appearance. Looking at him, Lin Rei stood up, smiled, and cupped his hands. He said to the earth corpse, let's cut to the chase. You and I are both sensible people. This time, I'm not here to make you my enemy. Oh. That is. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the earth corpse, who was slightly worried before, calmed down. This was because when Lin Rei arrived, he felt an oppressive aura from Lin Rei's body. This oppressive aura made him very uncomfortable. He had even felt this feeling from his big brother before. However, because they were brothers, the sky corpse gave him an oppressive feeling, but it was not a big deal. However, the pressure on Lin Rei's body was different. This kind of pressure made him dizzy, and even made him feel as if all the blood in his body was pouring into his heart, making him feel very uncomfortable. Thus, when Lin Rei arrived, the earth corpse knew that the human corpse was right. Lin Rei was a very frightening opponent. Yin Flame. I want to use heavenly treasures to exchange for your Yin Flame, is that possible? Clean and direct. At this moment, Linley didn't have any intention of hiding anything. He directly stated the reason why he had come here. What? Yin Flame, you. At this moment, hearing Lin Rei's straightforward words, the Earth Corpse didn't expect him to come for his Yin flame. Thinking of this, the Earth Corpse shifted his gaze to the human corpse sitting on the chair to the side. There weren't many people who knew about his Yin flame in the ancient corpse trove. No, it should be said that there was no one who knew about the Yin flame in the ancient corpse trove. Outside of his two brothers, no one else knew about it. Even his own capable subordinates didn't know. At this moment, the Earth Corpse couldn't help but suspect that it was his brother, the human corpse, who told Lin Rei about the Yin flame. At this moment, the human corpse, who was sitting on the chair and feeling a bit disappointed because of the earlier matter, felt the Earth Corpse's suspicious gaze and an indescribable feeling rushed into his heart. He didn't know why, but he couldn't control himself and directly stood up and angrily shouted at the Earth Corpse. "Why are you looking at me like that? It wasn't me who said it. When Lin Rei came here, he already knew about the Yin flame. Don't look at me like that, I don't like it. Seeing the human corpse's reaction, the Earth Corpse felt a trace of guilt in his heart. He didn't know why, but he actually suspected his own brother. At this moment, seeing their words, Lin Rei sneered and immediately walked in front of the human corpse. He gently patted his shoulder and said, "Enough, this matter has nothing to do with the human corpse. As for the Yin flame, do you really think there is a wall in this world that doesn't have a crack?" What do you mean?" The Earth Corpse's face was filled with suspicion. Lin Rei's words were very clear, this matter wasn't only known by the three brothers. Hearing the Earth Corpse's voice, Lin Li turned around and looked at him. His eyes were filled with mockery. "A trace of it means that you three brothers are not the only ones who know about this. I am the exception. Do you think the Yin flame is yours? Do you think you have the ability to refine it? If my guess is correct, you haven't truly refined the Yin flame yet. You can only slightly activate the nether flame around the Yin flame, right?" Lin Rei's words caused the Earth Corpse's expression to change greatly. At this moment, everyone saw the change in the Earth Corpse's expression and instantly knew that Lin Rei was right. The Earth Corpse really hadn't refined the Yin flame. It seems like I was right. Lin Rei really didn't expect the Earth Corpse to be this emotional. Moreover, his words just now were also because he wanted to see if the Earth Corpse had truly refined the Yin flame. It seems like his gamble paid off. With a gloomy expression, the Earth Corpse looked at Lin Rei and tried his best to calm down his agitated emotions. "That's right. Even if I can only activate the nether flame around the Yin flame, so what? The Yin flame is mine. This is an indisputable fact. Refining the Yin flame is only a matter of time. Do you think our corpse race will care about this little bit of time? Moreover, after refining the Yin flame, I might be able to break through the shackles of the Reverend God realm and reach the Saint realm. Tell me, do you think I will give you such a heavenly treasure?" At this moment, the Earth Corpse made it clear that Lin Rei wanted it, but the Earth Corpse wouldn't give it to him. Thus, Lin Rei's originally smiling face disappeared at this moment. The moment the Earth Corpse refused, his expression gradually became gloomy. He knew that if he took out something good to exchange, the Earth Corpse might never agree. However, there was also a possibility that even if he took out something good, the Earth Corpse wouldn't give it to him. Of course, there were both options, but Lin Rei didn't know which one the Earth Corpse would choose. "Tell me, what do you want in exchange for me?" "Medicinal pills. Cultivation methods. Battle techniques. Magic techniques. Magic tools. Formations, etc. As long as you say it, I will give it to you. Moreover, you just said that you want to use the Yin flame to break through to the Saint realm." I just want to say that you are very stupid. The Yin flame is of the Yin attribute, and you yourself are of the Yin attribute. To become a saint, you need both Yin and Yang to be complete. Do you think you can only break through with Yin Qi? With that, Lin Rei didn't have any intention to refute the Earth Corpse. He then continued, "If you want to break through to the Saint realm, I can help you replenish your Yang Qi and let your Yin and Yang Qi be complete. From there, you can break through to the Saint realm. Boom! Lin Rei's words were like thunder that exploded in the Earth Corpse's mind. Although he didn't know if the prerequisite to becoming a saint was like what Lin Rei said earlier, but looking at his determined appearance and expression, it didn't seem fake. At this moment, the Earth Corpse was caught in a dilemma. One was to use the Yin flame as a medium to break through to the saint realm. However, this was only his imagination and speculation. The other was to believe in Lin Rei and believe that he could help him break through to the saint realm. However, the prerequisite was that he had to give him the Yin flame. Originally, the Earth Corpse didn't doubt the first option and even wanted to speed up his cultivation. However, after hearing Jun Mo Xie's words, the Earth Corpse fell into silence and doubt. In the past, the Earth Corpse had firmly believed in the method he had imagined. But now, he was hesitating. Lin Rei looked at the hesitation on the Earth Corpse's face and smiled. He then returned to his seat and waited. Although he was pressed for time, if he could obtain the Yin flame, then this little bit of time could be wasted. Just like this, in the Earth Corpse's silence, time passed little by little. In the blink of an eye, a day had passed. During this day, Lin Rei didn't idle. He sat on the chair and ate spirit fruits. He circulated the devouring heaven spell to devour the surrounding spirit qi and his yin qi to increase his cultivation. As for the human corpse, seeing his second brother hesitating, he was extremely anxious. At this moment, he had complete faith in Lin Rei. However, as time passed, the Earth Corpse's thoughts formed one after another. Finally, he made up his mind and locked his gaze on the human corpse. Looking at his brother who had once fought side by side with him for millions of years, the Earth Corpse's gaze finally became firm. He let out a long breath and then said to Lin Rei, "I promise you, I can give you the Yin flame. However, you must show me your sincerity. You must show me that you can help me break through my cultivation. Only then will I believe that you have the ability to help me achieve the Saint Realm." He. Lin Rei, who was resting with his eyes closed, heard the Earth Corpse's voice. For a moment, Lin Rei smiled. Lin Rei still admired the Earth Corpse. After all, it wasn't easy to find someone with such strength in the God realm. When the human corpse heard that his second brother believed in Lin Rei, he quickly stood up and looked at him. He smiled and said, "Second brother, you should have done this long ago. Look at me, I especially believe in Lin Rei. Therefore, believing in Lin Rei is the right thing to do." Lin Rei, looking at the human corpse, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of the pyramid schemes on his planet. The human corpse was very similar to pyramid schemes. "You." The Earth Corpse smiled and looked at his third brother. He really didn't know what to say. Whoosh! Suddenly, as the human corpse and the Earth Corpse were chatting, the sound of something breaking through the air was heard. The Earth Corpse stretched out his hand and grabbed something in his hand. He retracted his hand and opened it. A pill the size of a soybean appeared in his palm. Suddenly, a pill aroma assailed his nose and quickly spread throughout the entire palace. Hiss. The Earth Corpse inhaled a mouthful of cold air with a shocked expression on his face. At this moment, looking at the pill in his hand, smelling its aroma and feeling it, the Earth Corpse couldn't remain calm. Even the human corpse beside him couldn't remain calm at this moment. How could he not know that this pill was the reason why he became a mid-stage ultimate god? If the one holding the pill at this moment was his second brother, he would probably rush up and snatch it away. "This is for you. Eat this and I believe it will replenish your yang energy. Who knows, it might help you break through to the late-stage ultimate god." Sitting on the chair, Lin Rei looked at the shocked Earth Corpse and said indifferently. However, although he didn't seem to care, his heart started to ache a little because this was his last 9 revolution mixed essence pill. This. Hearing Lin Rei's words, the Earth Corpse looked up at Lin Rei and saw his indifferent expression. Suddenly, the Earth Corpse was shocked. As a mid-stage ultimate god cultivator, he still had some insight. This thing was extraordinary. In his life, he had obtained all the pills and looked at them with a burning gaze. He couldn't wait to swallow them and break through to the next realm. However, he knew that now wasn't the time. Lin Rei had shown his sincerity, and he should show his sincerity too. The Yin fire was once the key to breaking through to the Saint realm. Although he was a little reluctant, he was willing to give it up in front of the person who was the key to breaking through to the Saint realm. Looking at Lin Rei, the Earth Corpse let out a long sigh. His face showed a trace of reluctance as he gritted his teeth and said, "Come with me, I'll take you to find the Yin fire." Okay. Hearing the Earth Corpse's words, Lin Rei smiled. He came here for the Yin fire and the Corpse King pill. Now that he had the Yin fire, the only thing left was the Corpse King pill. He got up and walked behind the Earth Corpse, following him to a wall. Now? Looking at the wall in front of him, Lin Rei was puzzled. He didn't understand what the Earth Corpse meant. Crunch. In the next instant, as Linley was speaking, another crunching sound could be heard. Linley's gaze was fixed on the wall in front of him. He saw the wall retreating into the room at this moment, but the speed was a little slower. Boom! At this moment, a terrifying heat rushed out from the crack in the wall. However, what made Lin Rei feel strange was that within this heat wave, Lin Rei faintly felt a trace of coldness. Yin fire? This feeling, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of these two words in his mind. He couldn't help but say it out loud. Hearing Lin Rei's guess, the Earth Corpse's face showed a trace of a smile. However, he didn't turn around from beginning to end. Correct, it's the Yin fire. As the wall slowly retreated, the heat wave became more and more intense. After Jianghu was born, he felt this heat wave. In the beginning, it was nothing. However, as time passed, the heat wave slowly increased. In the end, Jianghu couldn't withstand it anymore. Plop. Jianghu couldn't endure the heat wave from the Yin fire and finally fell on the chair. His face was full of pain, which made people worried. You're tuning into the Biyao's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.